Welcome, little one. This is your first day. Your designation will be RP-01/138. We expect great things from you. You have been born into dangerous times. A sharp mind can be the key to survival. But as often as not, it will be your inherent physical traits that win the day. And in this regard, you will be superior to your more common brethren. For you are a commander, an elite unit, something truly special. Your weapons, your armor, and most importantly, your brothers.
All right, men. Listen up.
Delta Squad, form up.
Forming up, boss.
Question. How do we call him? He gave us a signal.
What up, Gotham Guardians and Arkham Adversaries, Jedis and Sith Lords, and my fellow Clone Trooper Commandos? It is your boy Trey of the Bat Channel. We are live once again from the Bat Cave, but as always, before we begin, folks, we must bring in the best Padawan Nana co-host I could ever ask for. Ladies and gentlemen, Super Bro Corey. Padawan. You're still learning.
Still learning.
Still learning. You're older, but you're still learning. How's it going, big fella?
Hello there. What's up, everybody? Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday morning. It's a beautiful day. Absolutely beautiful day out here. So, man, what are we talking about today? It's been a while.
My man, we're going to be talking, it's Delta Squad stream. So you already know what we are going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about Star Wars. We're going to be talking about Obi-Wan Kenobi season finale, the whole series in general, just talking about how good it was, or even some of the mistakes they made. But we'll talk it all. We'll discuss. But Corey, with Delta Squad, we got to form up.
Now. It's time to form up. Time to form up?
Time to form up and bring in.
Here we go.
The man, the myth, the legend. You know him as Mr. Orc and Beans 14. What's up, Mr. Orc and Beans? What's going on?
Hello. How are you guys doing?
Doing good, man. You made a cool little TikTok video that I really appreciated. You're just hyping shit up, and it was awesome.
Before we jump into that, Trey, though, can we talk about the new opener for a second? So the new opener is fantastic. Absolutely loved it. I'm glad you got the commandos. But the video that you created for Orc and Beans 14's opener, dude, it is so fire. When I was watching into it last weekend when I was moving, I was like, holy shit. Okay, we got the Orcite out there. the orcs are yelling orc as well. And then you got there's something with Mary, something with Mary, there's something about Mary.
Yeah, something about Mary.
and then you throw in the Chelsea dagger as well. I was like, I caught all of it, dude.
It was for all them Chicago boys. You already know.
I was loving it, absolutely loving it. So
that's awesome.
And you guys had a fire stream last week, man. I wish I could have been a part of it, but you guys were doing fantastic.
We'll let you have a time to talk about episode 5, Corey, because one of the things that was going through my mind when I was watching it, I was literally thinking you and Savage Bat are probably like jumping out of your seats right now. Like, because I know Savage Bat, unfortunately, he can't make it with us again today because he's busy taking care of some family things. So we hope everything is well, putting him in our thoughts and prayers and stuff like that. So but Savage Bat will be back at some point doing Delta Squad streams with us. But I see that we have a ton of people in the chat. Zero Atlantis, guys, if you have not checked out Zero Atlantis channel, what are you doing? Go do it. Do it. I see a lot of people with great YouTube channels on here, Corey. I think there was Rhea.
Yeah, we have a lot of people in here today. So, of course, we got Bat Dan, and Bat Dan's going to be on Zod's show coming up in July 1st, I believe.
I believe so. Yeah, that's going to be
fire. That's going to be exciting. Trevor H in the house, hashtag Delta Squad. Bat Fanatic, hashtag Restore the Snot of Us guy. We got Skywalker the Jedi in here.
Skywalker the Jedi. You already know, guys. Subscribe to his channel. Let's just do it.
We got Ryan Swayze, Red Hooded Outlaw, Rhea in the house.
Yeah, she had a great stream last night. I was watching a little bit of it.
She did. Orica's Clock Tower, Zero Atlantis, Doing My Best, and Krypton's Core. I think I got everybody.
Doing My Best. That is.
Oh, the Butler's in now. Welcome.
Good morning, the Butler. What's up, man? You got the tea. I know. Yep. Already ready to go. Hashtag Delta Squad. You know, folks, this is going to be fire. So, guys, before we begin, because it's kind of been a while since we've been together, Orc and Beans. I hear you had some pretty cool stuff going on this last weekend. Tell us a little bit about what you got going on.
So I just posted a fire TikTok to promote this show the other day.
Is there a way to pull that up, Trey?
I could send it to you guys. Do you want me to send it to you?
Just do it.
Yeah, send us the link real quick in the private chat, and I'll pull it up. Because it was absolutely great. Man.
It was really good. I was laughing so hard. It was just like one of those like campy like advertisement things, but you play it off so well that it was just like, this is freaking brilliant.
No, it was a ton of fun to make. I had posted just like a basic video or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, I can't just leave it at that. I gotta do something.
It was fantastic, man. Bat Dad, thanks for asking, buddy. I absolutely love the new place. So it's a really, really nice place. And
it is a really nice place. I was impressed. I like walked in and I was like, holy hell, you did well for yourself, buddy.
Yeah. It's a nice little place. And yeah, I'm loving it so far. I'm loving it up here in Wyoming. So it's good stuff.
Yeah,
Wyoming doesn't exist, by the way.
Wyoming doesn't exist.
No.
Oh my God. Well, guys, it's some exciting stuff. I know as Orkin Beans is pulling up his little TikTok video, which guys, if you have not followed Orkin Beans 14 on TikTok, you need to, because he's doing some fire videos over there. Really dig. I also have a TikTok at _bat channel that you guys can check out. I put everything in the description. So if you want to subscribe to Orkin Beans 14's channel, do it. It's phenomenal. And plus he's gonna be doing some crazy stuff, especially tonight.
Yes.
And he's always doing some cool stuff on his Twitch. Tell us about your Twitch real quick, Orkin Beans, for those who haven't seen you before.
It is going to be a content heavy day for me today. As soon as we get done with this, I'm gonna eat some lunch and then I'm hopping right on stream. I'm gonna play the Raft with my buddy Colton. Corey knows him.
Nice.
And then at 6 p.m. my time, 7 p.m. Eastern time, we're doing an Xbox Live Star Wars 2 community meetup.
It's gonna be cool. Corey, can you actually pull that up real quick?
So
did you have to? I forgot you had to
remove the other one. So let me get this real quick.
Some upgrades that StreamYard needs to do. But guys, while we're waiting for Corey to pull that up on TikTok, oh nope, never mind. He's already got it. See, he's quick, he's fast, he's super fly, super bro, Corey. All right, let's watch this fire TikTok video. It's hilarious.
It was great. It was absolutely fantastic.
Hello there. Hey man, did you happen to watch the final episode of Obi-Wan Kenobi? Yeah, I did. And I'm also going to watch Delta Squad talk about it on Saturday, June 25th at 12 p.m. Eastern. Dude, did you really come here just to plug your show? I will do what I must. Then you will die.
It's so great. No production value, but it's still good.
It's hosted by Trey from the Bat Channel and his brother, Super Bro Corey, with special guests, the Savage Bat and Orkin Beats 14. That is a star-studded cast, but what do they even talk about? They do an entire breakdown of the episode, and also at the end, they give their overall thoughts and feelings and rating of the episode, while also talking to their community the entire show. But what if I enjoy myself too much and I need more content from them later that day?
This is so good.
You fought well. Also, later that night at 7 p.m. Eastern time, they're going to play Star Wars Battlefront 2 with their community. Oh, really? That sounds actually kind of awesome. And you said the show is on the Bat channel on YouTube, and then the live stream will be on Orkin Beans 14 on Twitch? Cool. I'll be there.
This next part is so...
I don't want to hear shit about the fact that I use pens as lightsabers, all right? Hello there.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that is so brilliant. I don't want to hear shit.
Oh, man.
Well, guys, as you can already tell, if you're not following Orkin Beats 14 on TikTok, Twitch, YouTube,
I tell you what, I have always been anti TikTok until that. I'm this close to creating a TikTok just because of that. It was hilarious.
Funny
man.
stuff you could do. It's quite great.
Hey Trey, check out private chat real quick too. So
okay, yeah, we'll do. Corey, while I handle that, can you do the whole spiel for liking, sharing, subscribing, super chats?
yeah, absolutely. So welcome everybody to the Delta Squad. Super excited to be here today. This is a great group of people. Our Delta Squad has formed up. We got Orchid Beans today. Unfortunately, Savage Bat, like you heard, is unable to make it. But as always, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that share button, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode. We are going to be pushing out tons of great content as we do. I think we put out pretty good content. Yeah, maybe average content. Okay.
Oh, I see how it is.
Maybe not that great of content, but we can
Not
really
that
use
good.
your support. We're trying to hit 2K. I think Trey wants to hit 1,500 before the end of this month. We have some work to do. Let's get there. But every like, share, and subscribe. That helps us out a lot. Make sure you guys also follow Orchid Beans 14 on Twitch and his YouTube page as well. And then, as always, Trey needs the money, so he always plugs in the super chat. Help support our channel. Super chat, please. We need the money
to. I can't build a Death Star without
we need to create the Death Star. Oh no.
Credits will be fine.
Credits will be fine.
Yes, you guys can help us out so much with super chats. It goes right back into the show with improving equipment, renewing our subscriptions, like StreamYard, and just making content even better for you guys. We're working on some really cool things. Wonder Wife and I, we're, like you said, we're still working on our original logo that we finally kind of honed in on a design that she's now going to start building digitally. So I'm excited. We're going to be doing some merch soon. It's growing, man. It's getting big. We're starting to do some crazy stuff now, and I'm excited. And we'll do memberships soon. We're still putting that together. No, Super Bro Corey's like, not for that.
I don't know if I'm down for that. The memberships. I don't know much about memberships, but I don't know if I like it. I'm just gonna tell you right now.
That's rude. That's just rude.
Yeah, I'm just going to tell you right now.
Let the people support what they want, Corey. Let them support.
Yeah, we'll talk about that offline.
Sounds good. Well, guys, here we go. As we start to get into our Star Wars talk, as Orkin Beans 14 already mentioned, tonight we are doing our Star Wars Battlefront 2 Obi-Wan Kenobi season finale game party celebration tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern. If you haven't sent us your invite to our gamer tags on Xbox, you need to right now. Send it to Titan Space Valor 12, or you can send it to Biggie C 72. Corey, I think I have that in the banner still. Let me pull that up real quick. Yep, here we go. Oh, were you just clicking on it? Yep, see, I'm moving too quick. Yes, send us your gamer tag invites to Titans Valor 12, and we'll love to have you join us. I think Zero Atlanta said he's going to be joining us for some Battlefront. I've been getting back into it. It's been a while since I played it, and I'm not going to lie, guys. My first couple of matches, I was embarrassing. I was not doing so hot. I was like, shit, I forgot how to play this. I don't even remember the controls anymore.
I'll be honest. I just downloaded it again this week. I played one game, got straight up torch, and I'm like, cool, I'm good to go.
Right? I know. It's like once I think like about 3 or 5 matches in, I finally got a hang of it. And I was like, okay, I'm back to kind of where I was before. So it's gonna be a damn good time. Looking forward to it, but it's good to see you guys here. I'm glad we're gonna be hanging out on Twitch with Orkin Beans 14's channel. So like I said, give them a follow if you guys haven't already, because it's just gonna be a damn good time with us doing probably nonstop Star Wars quotes and just saying hello there every 5 seconds. Yeah. So guys, are you ready to begin our spoiler review? We'll do a recap of episode 5, but we're just gonna get right into it. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Delta Squad. Corey, you know what to do.
It's not just a signal. It's a warning.
All right, guys, let's talk about it. Let's talk about episode 5. Corey, you weren't here with us with Orc and Beans 14, so I want to hear from you. Give us a little rundown of some of the things you really enjoyed and really liked about that episode, or some things that you had issues with.
Issues? Don't think I had any issues. It was pretty solid all the way around. I think I gave it a 9.6 last week. Man, I'm just gonna go straight to it. The only thing that you need to remember from last week is freaking Vader coming in, holding that damn ship, bringing it back to the ground, smashing it through it. Man, it was fantastic. It was the sheer, like, I remember, what they've been doing with the Force in Star Wars has been absolutely fantastic. I think of like what was it? Episode 7, where Kylo, just straight up stopped a laser bolt coming at him, and the bolt was just like shaking there, and I was like, "Holy cow, that was amazing!" I thought that was cool. And then, it's been progressively, the Force in movies have been getting better and better, and seeing Vader just straight up stop a ship, right as it's trying to, force jet its way out of there and bring it crash into the ground and then rips it apart. It was just, it reminds me of the video games, it was fantastic there. Fallen Order, when the whole freaking bridges, falling apart and everything like that. So it's like, oh my God, dude, it's fantastic. I'm sorry, I remembered just now that Orchid Beans hasn't played Fallen Order yet. So
I played the first level, I think. I started playing it. I'm terrible at it, but I'll get better.
Get it. That's awesome. I'm curious to hear, maybe, Orc and Beans, it'd be really cool. Maybe after, are you going to start doing streams of it?
No, I'm so bad. I don't want anyone to see that footage.
Okay. Fair enough. But maybe after you play it, maybe we can have you back on and we can kind of
talk about it.
Yeah, review it and do another Delta Squad stream just talking about Fallen Order. What did you like about the game? Where do you think it's going to go for Jedi Survivor? And just we'll just have a good gaming chat.
Yeah,
we haven't done that in, oh my God, Corey, I think since the first year we started, where we like really dived in deep into a video game. But that'll be cool. I'd be game for that. No pun intended. Corey, so obviously one of the big things that happened in episode 5 was we got a lot of our theories confirmed. A lot of people called us crazy. A lot of people said, dude, you're so full of it. You're just blinded because you're a Star Wars fan. So many people were attacking our channel being like, Reva's a stupid character. She's just written poorly.
Dude, and we called it all, man. We called it all. Like every little thing that was, potentially, possibly might happen, we called it all. Reva kind of playing both sides. Reva being one of the younglings. We knew everything. We knew the roadmap. We saw how it's going to happen. I heard you mention receipts last week. I thought that was a fantastic word for it. Like Sil says, it was absolutely insane. We called it, dude. So it's like, we gave the show the opportunity to prove itself, and while other people were too busy hating on it, we were like, no, this is by design, wait and see. And sure enough, we were right. The Bat Channel was right.
As Trevor H is saying, he's starting it, huh? I dig it. Hey man, it was just one of those scenes where it's like, it's a show. You have to give it time to let it play out. Of course, they're not going to show their hand the first couple of episodes. Clearly, to me, it was obvious. It was obvious what they were doing, that there was going to be a big reveal about her character, and that they were already teasing some of it throughout the opening Order 66 sequence. Zooming in on a certain character with those Padawans, like you knew what was going to happen, like you knew what they were going to reveal. But people, I think the issue is Obi-Wan Kenobi kind of fell into an issue of people not really diving in deep with it or like paying attention to the hidden messages all around. trying to find the story underlying to what you're seeing physically, right? Like, what are they trying to say behind the story, you know? And if you do that, if you look at it in a deep sense, you're going to pick up on some of those messages and those story arcs. You know, if you're just watching it to be entertained, I think you'll still be entertained, but like, you gotta to really enjoy it and fully embrace what the story writers are trying to do and what the characters are trying to do. You got to look further. You got to look deeper.
Also, I think people just are they want instant gratification right away. And also, I think sometimes people start to have their own theories on what's going to happen. And when it doesn't come true, or like it's kind of close, they get kind of disappointed. Like, oh, well, why isn't it the thing that I came up with by myself in my bedroom? Like, we have to, these people are professionals and they've been doing it for so long. This is Disney. Disney knows what they're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Skywalker the Jedi says, got to go hop in the chat. I have an interview premiering. Much love to you guys. Dude, awesome stuff. That's exciting. Guys, after this video, check out Skywalker the Jedi's interview. Who are you interviewing if you're still on? That'd be curious to see. That's cool stuff, dude. I would like to see that after. Krypton's Core said, I knew she would spare Luke because she didn't want to turn like him, even though we knew it. But still, it's a great story. Yeah, I mean, it's just one of the scenes where, like, as we kind of talked about with like Man of Steel, so many people were pissed off that Superman wasn't Superman yet. And it's like, well, aren't you curious about the origins of Superman? Like, how, not so much that he's a kid from Krypton, but so much that he becomes the American Boy Scout, you know, protector of the earth, you know, just Mr. Perfect, right?
Yeah.
How does he get that way? Like a person, just kind of, we've seen like power tends to corrupt people, right? Like that's what Star Wars suggests as well. Power tends to corrupt. And yet here this super being is, you know, and yet he's choosing to listen, to help people when that really is beneath him, you know. And like, you have to see that character, what happens, certain events in their life that make them this way that we all know and love, just like Obi-Wan, right? We see him in episode 1 coming from a very depressed, you know, just feeling the weight of the world, the guilt of failing Anakin and failing the galaxy. You're seeing that. You don't see the Alec Guinness episode 4, A New Hope, Obi-Wan that we all know and love. How does he get to that person? You wouldn't expect him, after what happened episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, for him to be like, oh, hello there, life is great. I am a Jedi. Isn't it wonderful?
All my friends are dead. It's cool.
Yeah, my friends are dead. And it was my Padawan who I was supposed to train and guide through life to do the right things, and I failed miserably. You know, like, of course he wouldn't be like, you know, yeah, this is great. Life is great. I'm cutting sashimi. What could be better? You know?
Yeah, and you know, like I this series has been absolutely fantastic all the way through. You know, I feel like I've rated it pretty high each time. I hope that you collected our scores, Trey.
I unfortunately didn't. I didn't have time to go through. I figured what we could do sometime, guys, is we could really maybe even next Saturday kind of break down the entire series as a whole. Because I figured, did anyone have time to watch each episode twice? Yeah, see, I've only had time. You know, this week has been crazy with work and moving you, fella.
Yeah. So Yellow Devil said, since when do we trust Warner Bros. And Disney to deliver Wiedenkai and Rise of Skywalker? Anyone? I would say this, Yellow Devil. I don't trust the movies. Yeah, but I trust. But because of Mandalorian, because I trusted the outcome of Obi-Wan, you know, like,
and it's a different team handling the Disney Plus series. You know, it's not the same film people. Like J.J. Abrams failed miserably with the sequel trilogy. He had no plan, or maybe he did have a plan, but the fact that he didn't do episode 8 and allowed, you know, what's his name, Rian Johnson, to do his own thing, it completely derailed the story and just tells you they had no vision. They had no plan for the sequel trilogy. They literally did it because people wanted Star Wars back, and here's like money. You know, this they're doing because of stories, you know, and good stories. Mandalorian has been phenomenal. Book of Boba Fett has been good for a different reason that unfortunately
I actually
isn't Book of
still
Boba.
need to watch that all the way. I stopped like after a few episodes. I was like, Yeah.
How dare you? How damn dare you?
Yeah.
But I think Disney Plus is doing a good job with all their
Yeah.
Star Wars content. I love Rise of Skywalker and The Last Jedi. I don't. Oh, well, hey, man, if you love Last Jedi, like I always say, if you like something that we don't like, congratulations. Like, I'm very happy for you because, like, you got your money's worth. You paid to go see that film. You bought it or you saw it, and you should be entertained. You should love it because, you know, it's entertainment, right? For me, Last Jedi was not it. I hated Last Jedi with a burning passion. Still do. I've tried multiple times to rewatch it to see if I can change my mind, and I can't. I've listened to different YouTubers and content creators talk about why they love it, and I can't find it. I can't like change my mind about it. Are you guys the same way about Last Jedi? Can you find any sense of love with it other than the, you know, lightsaber stuff is cool, you know? Yeah.
For me, I didn't thoroughly enjoy them, but like I don't hate them as much as everybody seems to. Like it was, to me, it was a movie. Like I was glad I went and saw them. I was glad that I got to enjoy more Star Wars content, but they were just I like for me, like the prequels will always be my Star Wars movies. And so for me, like those are my movies. And so and I, you know, those movies were not made for me. They weren't made for my generation. They're made for the next generation.
Yeah.
And so for me, it was all right. They're fine with me.
Yeah. You know, it's one of those scenes where like it is more Star Wars content. If you like it, good for you.
So I guess I would say for me, I guess this we already announced the spoiler. My favorite character was Han Solo, so I know he didn't want to be a part of the Star Wars series anymore. I just didn't like the way they killed him off personally. I didn't like how like after he did die, nobody really cared, you know. There was nothing, you know, like we're gonna burn his body or we're gonna have like a celebration. No, we're just like, fuck that guy, you know. It's like they didn't care anymore. So
they didn't want to film any more scenes. He was done.
Yeah, I also felt like they handled it wrong. Like it shouldn't have been Leia and Rey giving each other a hug. Like, why didn't Chewie go right to Leia and give her the hug, you know, to like comfort her? Like,
but what's with my level of probably disgust or like you know, just like man, this is gonna be meh all the way through. I feel like I did enjoy kind of how it all played out.
That's fair.
Because it went like it went from like ooh Star Wars into like oh Star Wars, and then like oh this is okay, you know. It's just like
And Rise of Skywalker, it felt like they were just trying so hard to fix the last film, you know, like it was like J.J. Abrams went like shit, like that was not where I was gonna take this, bro. And Ryan was just like, so what? My movie. You know, but yeah, like I said, if you like the sequel trilogy, more power to you. Congratulations. It just isn't for me. You know, maybe I'll find love eventually, and with the whole sequel trilogy, but it hasn't happened yet. It hasn't grown on me one bit. In fact, I tend to find myself hating it more and more the times I watch it. But hey, like I said, enjoy it if you love it. So guys, as we get back on track, as we went off on our Last Jedi tangent, just a quick recap of episode 5. We get some great flashback mirrorings of the minds between Ben and Vader, with Hayden Christensen coming back as Anakin Skywalker, doing a little sparring sesh, which was awesome to see, and really kind of seeing how their sparring session kind of played out to present day, which was really, really cool. I mean, just a great way of storytelling, and I think they handled it very well. But Obi-Wan and Tala were successful in the rescue of Leia from the Fortress Inquisitorius, but unfortunately, Reva had the master plan and left a tracker on Leia's droid, Lola. Vader, impressed by this, has granted her the position of Grand Inquisitor and Darth Vader's right-hand person. As Obi-Wan arrived back on Jabin, it is not long before the Empire has arrived and uses Lola to lock the refugees inside. And then, of course, we get that silly call from Senator Organa telling
I didn't
hey,
have an issue with it.
you didn't have an issue with it? I was
No.
curious about this, Corey, because I knew you seem to just kind of, I don't want to say let things slide, but to me it was just like, my man, I think as a senator you forgot the the importance of secrecy here, confidential, and here you are just, I hope Obi-Wan has his phone.
Yeah, they probably have really good, malware protection back then. So they figured, like there's no way, this is a direct message to Obi-Wan, and Obi-Wan should have been smart enough to delete it after he watched it.
He probably should have been like, cool, thanks for the message, delete. I mean, hey, it was busy, crazy things were going on. But anyways, of course, we get the call. He basically says Vader has children, please make sure. And one of them lives on Tatooine, not very good planning on his part, but hey, we'll give him a slide. He was a worried father, just wondering, hasn't heard anything back from Obi-Wan. He's like agitated. I get it. Dads do stupid shit when they're nervous. I'm just kidding. Obi-Wan tries to keep everyone calm as the Empire approaches, and he's the man with the plan, right? He's starting to get back to that General Kenobi that we recall from the Clone Wars. But Leia works on getting the facility unlocked. She's being a little badass that she is. And of course, Reva arrives with her garrison of troops and some heavy artillery. And Obi-Wan realizes not long before the Empire is inside and goes to the gates to them to buy some time, and learns Reva's truth about her being the Padawan, and that Anakin himself was the one that stabbed her with a lightsaber. Probably one of the few Jedis, at least post George Lucas, that keep surviving these Jedi, lightsaber attacks, straight in the body. Poor Qui-Gon Jinn. Corey, out of curiosity, because we didn't really get to talk about it, what did you think about Obi-Wan using Reva as an opportunity to lure Vader in and to catch him off guard?
I thought it was really cool, actually. We knew that she was going to play potentially both sides. Double agent, I think, is what we specifically
we
said.
called it double agent, but it was basically what we were discussing. Yes, that she was going to flip on the Empire at some point and flip on Vader.
Yeah. I thought, I thought it was cool, actually. I don't think he was using her as a pawn per se. I think overall he knew the main thing of getting Leia out of there was the most important. So, I thought it was interesting.
Fair enough. And then, of course, Reva's had enough with this conversation. She bursts inside, and Kenobi uses the Force to push her back, and he retreats within the walls of their refugee base. And of course, they're being overrun, and the stormtroopers are flooding in. Obi-Wan's doing a good job because he's fighting stances number 3, which is the defense stance for Jedis. And he's able to block a lot of blasters, but unfortunately, because they're overrun and there's just too many, Tala falls in a very heroic way. Corey, did that scene hit you pretty tough?
Yeah, it was, especially the loader robot, protecting her in the final moments of it all. It was a touching scene for sure. And I'm glad that they picked something up before they left. So
yeah, absolutely. And of course, Obi-Wan knows he's in the corner here, and he needs to create an opportunity for everyone to get away. So he does this by surrendering to Reva, and of course convinces her of the plan, as we talked about earlier, to maybe take this opportunity to actually get Vader, get him back for what he has done to her and her friends. But of course, as Vader arrives, the badass scene that we all get, him just pulling the ship down, tearing it apart like the badass that he is, probably one of the greatest Vader scenes ever. Obi-Wan's able to pull a fast one on him and be in another ship that escapes with all the refugees and Leia. And of course, Vader's pissed, but unfortunately, Reva decides that this is the opportune moment to make her move. And as we talked about as well, Corey, as our theories and I think even Orc and Beans was a part of it, we all talked about how Vader was playing her the entire time, that he wasn't, so many people are like, well, Vader's an idiot. He's just like letting her get away with stuff. And we had talked about, we were like, if it doesn't play out, then yes, it was stupid. But we were saying Vader's clearly leading her on. There's a plan. The Grand Inquisitor is not dead. Vader's going to bring him back when he takes down Reva. And that's exactly what happened. I literally jumped out of my seat as well on that one, because it was just like, look, like we obviously people could, say, yeah, the Grand Inquisitor is probably still alive because he's in the show Rebels. But here it was, like people were saying like, oh, they're retconning everything. It's like, no, they're not retconning.
I would have thought he would have been dead personally, because the only thing I know about the Inquisitors is from Fallen Order.
So actually, that's an interesting point, Corey, because did we spoil that for you? Did we tell you the Grand Inquisitor wasn't dead, or was that revealed to you in the show?
No, you guys said. Guys, yeah.
Well, we did tell you he was in Rebels, and it was a possible retcon.
Yeah.
But like, it
didn't bother me though. Like it to me, it made I may have been a little bit more critical about things. Who knows? So.
And of course, the episode ends as Reva is left to die. She finds the message that was left with Organa, revealing that Vader has children, and one of them is on Tatooine. And of course, this is all building up to the season finale of episode 6. So guys, are you ready to get into this crazy giant finale?
Yes.
With our episode 6 breakdown. All right, let's dive in deep here. I love that they started this episode. With me personally, guys, I don't know about you, it didn't quite hit me yet. I was kind of blind a little bit too, kind of, I guess you'd say, thinking of it. I kind of put the blinders on. I was just watching to be entertained. It's the finale, and I wasn't looking at it deep. But in the beginning, when you see Reva hooded, she's bandaged up, clearly weak, clearly, she's hanging on there. She does not look good. She looks beaten up, right? Because she had a lightsaber in her stomach. Don't know how she's surviving it, but we'll let it go. I remember thinking, what's her plan here? What's her goal? What is she trying to achieve? I didn't quite hit me yet of why she was going after Luke. As soon as you saw the beginning scene of her on Tatooine, we see the bully from episode 1 at the sashimi table. He cuts the line for water, and Reva just ain't having that shit. Did you guys, when she's asking the water vendor questions, where's Owen? Clearly she knows who Owen is from episode 1. Did you guys have an idea of what her mission was, what her goal was from the very beginning, or was it kind of revealed to you as the story went on?
I felt like she was going to use him as leverage against Vader. Like, I thought it was, she's going to kidnap him, tell Vader that, hey, you have a son, by the way, and now he's mine, kind of thing. To try to maybe
kind of thing.
try to draw him out, or maybe to do a thing where he shows up and then she kills Luke in front of him. Like, I thought that was her game plan, was to use Luke against Vader.
Okay, how about you, Super Bro Corey?
I would say the thing, I wasn't exactly sure where they were going to head with this. I did think that could be a possibility with what Orchid Bean said. I also thought, she knows that the child's a Skywalker, so maybe she's going to kill Luke, so to help get rid of the Skywalker line, get rid of Anakin, the failures that, kind of get back at him type thing. So I think there's a lot of things that were at play. So I was extremely curious. I enjoyed this side of the story arc quite a bit.
Yeah, to me, they really paid off Reva's character. From what you saw in the first episode to where her mission is to this, I really felt like her character arc was brilliant, especially in the end. Now, would I have tweaked it a little bit to made a few more things more impactful? Maybe, but all things considering, that when you look at the generic storyline of where she was, what happened, where did it go, how it ended for this season, I was like, they did her justice. I really liked her character. But of course, with Reva now, on the hunt for Owen and more importantly, Luke, of course, the water vendor would know who Owen is because that's his supplier. He's a moisture farmer. But we now cut to a very, very classic Star Wars-esque scene with Roken's ship escaping Vader's Imperial Star Destroyer, the Devastator. Guys, like, did you get chills just seeing that scene?
Oh, I love big ships. I love when you get to see those things. I love, like you said, it's such an iconic, shot of just a really tiny, small ship trying to get away from this big thing. That instantly took me back.
Yeah. How about you, Corey?
Yeah, I would say it was a great scene. Look where I'm at right now. It's fantastic. It's anything into space and them flying around and seeing the ships are always going to be one of my favorite parts of Star Wars. It was just a classic moment for sure, and I hope that we play some of the Star Wars ship battles tonight. Hashtag good time to plug it.
Oh my god! Hey man, it's gonna be a damn good time when we do some Star Wars tonight on Battlefront 2. We'll do a few space battles. We'll even do the Ewok hunt one.
We'll play everything.
Yeah, we'll just go for it. That's so funny, Corey. Now I can't stop thinking about Battlefront as I'm like trying to think like, oh, what else are we going to do tonight? But of course, the hyperdrive, as we learned before, is broken. Roken is trying to keep everyone calm like the good leader that he is. And he provides some comfort, letting the passengers know they are on their way to Tessin, which I don't recall if that's a part of Star Wars lore. I don't recall if that was ever a planet mentioned. So I don't know. It could be just something. I mean, I'm sure it's a planet. I wouldn't think he would lie, and people would just be like, "That's not a planet. You're lying." But Obi-Wan can sense they are not out of the woods yet, and he can clearly pick up on the messages that Roken is getting more and more nervous as things aren't going their way. But we cut back to a scene with Luke and Owen, who are at a shop looking for a belt for the speeder because Luke broke it. Corey, go ahead and go to the next slide. Luke broke it, which makes sense being, Luke, as we kind of see, he's very adventurous like his father, right? It was very reminiscent of kind of that Phantom Menace scene where you see the workshop and Anakin there seeing Padme for the first time. And Luke is just kind of just full of life. He's ready for action, right? He's ready for adventure. And I love that Owen's just kind of like, yeah, you broke the speeder. Congrats. They did such a great job with this cast of Owen, Brew and stuff like that, and Luke, because they very much matched who they become, in A New Hope, which was really, really wonderful. Of course, as Owen hears from the vendor who tells him someone's looking for them, he knows exactly that they're, hunting Luke, and he kind of returns home in a panic. And I love that we get to see, I don't recall if we saw Owen's wife really close up in the first episode. His wife, Beru, who is played by Bonnie Piesse, who I believe did, the episodes in Attack of the Clones. So that was cool. And Revenge of the Sith. So it was really cool to see her back. Guys, we didn't have a lot of time to see her character, but were you kind of impressed with her character already? Like the moment you see her, she's like a mama bear. She just takes action. Like Owen is kind of taken back by it. Like they're coming for Luke. And she's like, well, here's a gun, grab it. Like here's the plan. She's telling Owen what's up. What did you guys think about that?
She needs her own movie because I want her to be a bounty hunter. Like she just went straight into like ride or die mode. She knew where the gat was located in the house. Like it was like she was prepared for it. And
it was almost kind of funny because like Owen gave her like a kind of like, oh my God, look, like you're crazy. He's like, are we really doing this? And she's like, oh yeah, we're gonna freaking take this girl out. Like she ain't gonna get our son.
Well, my thing too is it makes sense for them to be prepared for this because, I mean, Anakin's mom was taken from the Tusken Raiders and murdered. And so it makes sense for them to have kind of a plan like this. And then they even use that with Luke and say, hey, they're raiding farmers like near us. Like, you know what to do. Like, this is something that they had prepared for. Maybe not so much for a Sith to show up, but I thought it was very cool that they were ready to go.
Yeah.
I think that what I would have to say is, yes, there's some parts that they have to be prepared. They're living boondocking, they're far away from civilization, really out in the fields. So yes, farmers are always going to be prepared. But I think that the other thing that what was touching to me was, Owen was a father. Luke is his son, and same way for her. She went into mama bear mode, and she was ready to freaking kill, dude. And that's what made it exciting for me to see.
I agree, and that was really nice. It was very reminiscent, right, of A New Hope. Both characters were very much Owen kind of standoffish of Obi-Wan. He doesn't want Luke to become Anakin. There's that famous quote. He's so much like his father. And Owen says, that's what I'm worried about. He's trying very hard to keep Luke away from that life, from that because he knows what could happen, right? Like, he knows the tragedy of war and what could happen with all that. But she's very much let the kid be a kid. And I love the quote that she says to Owen in this episode, where she's like, who told Obi-Wan to leave? You told him to get away, and he was our one protection against this Inquisitor that's coming for Luke. But like you said, Corey, Mama Bear, she's not going to let it happen. And of course, Oracle's Clock Tower coming in with a $10 super chat. Thank you so much, Oracle's Clock Tower. She says, I just wanted to say I love these #Delta Squad streams. I hope this blows up for you. Keep it up. Oh, thank you, Oracle. That means a lot. Thank you. It's good to see you. I know you couldn't make it last show, but I appreciate you reaching out and giving us a super chat. Corey, can you play Oracle's Clock Tower? A little something to say thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Oracle.
Credits will do fine.
No, they won't.
Credits will do fine.
No, they won't. What, you think you're some kind of Jedi waving your hand around like that?
I had to play this one.
You're right. So when we then hop back to Leia, who is, she's upset that Obi-Wan is going to have to leave, because he reveals his plan that he's going to lure Vader away because he knows Vader's just after him. Vader's not aware of Leia yet. So he knows that if he leaves the ship and takes Vader away, everyone on that ship can get away and Leia will be safe. And, being the little Spitfire that she is, she's not cool with that. But hey, man, I gotta say, I really love the relationship between Obi-Wan and Leia throughout this entire season. It is definitely one of the highlights. Would you guys agree?
Oh, definitely. Also, Leia's just been so good. And I love how when you first see her during that moment, she is helping other people out. She's this tiny, 9-year-old girl. She's probably scared too, but she is using her time on the ship to try to bring joy to the others around her.
Right. Yeah. She was doing that with Lola to kind of bring comfort to people because it's a tense moment. I mean, this is this little ship going up against a Star Destroyer, and it's Vader's Star Destroyer nonetheless. Corey, how about you? Do you think they were a highlight of this season?
Absolutely. As you guys already know, I absolutely adored Leia. I thought she was fantastic this entire season. I'm glad that we did get to see Luke a little bit, and I thought they did a really good job with Luke as well. I think obviously Leia stole the show. Obviously she was in it more, but I think it also just kind of stays true to youth development as well, right? So girls tend to kind of mature a little bit quicker than boys do. So it's it was perfect in that sense too. He's still, fooling around, going fast, breaking speeders, and she's already ready to lead a freaking rebellion,
Right. Yeah. You already get the sense this girl's gonna be a badass, especially when Obi-Wan hands her the Tala's gun holder, like, and she's just
Mhm.
like, it's the
Because
greatest gift you could possibly give her, you know.
and I don't know how much I want to jump into this statement too far, because let's say the roles were different. I don't see Leia running away. I see Leia fighting back personally.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think she definitely would. And honestly, I think that's what's like so great about the little girl who played this, played Leia, is
Mhm.
that she was like, I'll go with you, basically. Like, you could tell,
Mhm.
like, because Obi-Wan wanted to lure Vader away, her mindset was, I'll go with you, basically.
Exactly.
And of course Obi-Wan's not going to allow that. He's like, you're 10 years old. Like, basically what she says, like, there's no gun in this holster. And he's like, you're 10, Leia. I'm not going to give you a gun. Like, this girl, like, perfection, right? Like,
Bat Dad also made a solid point here. He's like, not that Luke saw them as his parents. He didn't give a shit when they died.
That's hurtful. He did have it. He was just like, there's nothing for me here now, like, he cared. That's hurtful. I mean, he really liked that blue milk. I think he missed that. I think he missed the blue milk. Because bro, she makes a strong blue milk.
Yeah.
I will say it definitely makes me wonder if Brew kept any guns around anywhere else. Like, did she keep it under the table? Like, you get the feeling she was prepared more than Owen was, and like Owen's like, why is there a gun in our pillow?
We find out Brew was the one that shot first. It wasn't Han.
Right? It wasn't Han. Brew just like, what? How's she still alive? Like, hey, I'm good. Like, it wasn't me. I put a fake skeleton out there. Halloween store off of Tusken Raiders. Very easy. But I love that we finally get this Obi-Wan. Obviously he asks Haja, who we met in episode 2, to promise to take Leia back, and of course he gives his word. But obviously this is going to be an intense moment. Obi-Wan is, I think he's afraid right now, but he knows this is something he must do to save Leia, to save everyone on the ship. He's inspecting his lightsaber, and he calls out for Master Qui-Gon Jinn again, saying that he must face Vader. He dies or I do. This ends today. And of course, we don't get an answer yet.
I was so close to being right. Last week, I called it. I said he's going to go off on his own little area in the ship, and we're finally going to get our Qui-Gon. And when he didn't come, I was like, man, I was so close to being right. It was all perfectly lined up for me, and I was wrong.
That was actually one of my few issues that we'll talk about when we get there. I felt like there was a more opportune moment that they could have used such a scene. But of course, Roken shows up and tells him that, he's like, you don't need to do this. We can get away. And I think it just goes to show, like, when we saw Roken call Obi-Wan General Kenobi, he obviously has great respect and admiration for Obi-Wan, and he doesn't want to see him go. I mean, when you think about it, it's Darth Vader. You're basically a death wish, right? When you go up against Darth Vader. But if there's one person that knows Darth Vader better than anyone, it's gonna be Obi-Wan at this point. Even though it's been 10 years, like, he taught him how to fight, right? Like, he knows what could even get under Anakin's skin potentially. But I love that Roken tells him he doesn't need to do this, and Obi-Wan kind of just reassures him, like, hey, like, you're a good leader, like, keep leading these people, start the rebellion. And of course Roken kind of says, like, I'm just getting started. Out of curiosity, guys, to kind of discuss, do you think Roken is going to appear in more Star Wars shows?
I hope so. I thought he was a great character. I really hope that he does. I am on team there is going to be a season 2, and so I hope he's in that, and I do hope that in future stuff we do get to see him.
How about you, Super Brocory?
Yeah, I think he will be. I would say this. I think that people are going to be like, holy cow, this Obi-Wan Kenobi was awesome. We liked some of these characters from it, and I can see. I see an Obi-Wan Kenobi season 2 in our future. I can see Princess Leia spinoffs. I can see some Luke spinoffs, and then I also see kind of this middle ground pre-rebellion phase as well too. That would include him helping, begin the resistance, right?
Yeah, I agree. And maybe that's the show right there. I know we kind of got that with the show Rebels, but maybe like let's see the actual full-on origins of Organa and Roken and some other of the, people who are trying to go against the Empire, to actually the building, the logo, of the true start of the rebellion. That I think that would be cool. And I would be down to see that. It sounds like majority of our chat would be down to see that too, which is cool. I respect that. I would love to see more Roken. I thought for the small amount of time that we saw him, I thought O'Shea Jackson did a wonderful job, and would love to see him in more.
I wouldn't mind like a series where they just release like hour and a half long episodes, just spotlighting different characters throughout, everywhere. And just, maybe it's 6 episodes, but each episode is a different character that everybody wants to kind of learn more about. That would be cool.
that could be cool. I would be down for that. I think they're going to kind of do something similar with Tales of the Jedi, because it's going to be like random different stories about like Count Dooku, Yoda when he was younger, and even Qui-Gon Jinn when he was a Padawan. So some cool things could happen there. I'd be down for that. That'd be cool. But of course, Obi-Wan, he's jumping in the escape craft, and he heads to a nearby planet. And Vader, who is clearly he has his eyes set on one thing, and that's getting Obi-Wan. But of course, the Grand Inquisitor disagrees with this move. He's just like, I don't, like we can get the basically the birth of this Rebel Alliance, this path that is, smuggling all these Force sensitive kids. We can get them now, and we can end this basically. But Vader, being kind of at his younger stage, or as I kind of say, he's not quite Vader yet. He's not the Vader that we all know in episode 4 and 5, and he's just annihilating people, right? He's still very Anakin's still very much in there in his mindset, or in a way, to where he can't let Obi-Wan go. So of course he's like, nope, follow Obi-Wan. We're gonna get that guy. And Kenobi, as he arrives on the remote planet, he finds that Leia put her Lola droid in his pocket, because if you recall, guys, there was a scene where he says to her, like, I wish I had, Lola, because, she'd probably help me like be calm and stuff like that. I think she did that as a way, like, you're going to be okay. Like, you're going to make it back in, and also kind of as a way, like, you're going to give this back to me,
Yeah.
like
definitely.
a promise, in a
Yep.
way. I thought that was like, just, man, like I said, very touching, very, very meaningful stuff that they do with Obi-Wan and Leia, and I love it so much. But we now cut back with Reva, who approaches the farm, and Owen prepares Luke by telling him a little bit of a white lie, but he's telling him that Tusken Raiders have been attacking nearby farms and he needs to hide. Out of curiosity, guys, I think I know the answer, but I just want to hear your thoughts on this. Why do you think Owen lied about what was happening?
I think because Luke says he's like, I'm not afraid. And I think that was intentional to tell him that it was the Raiders, because he figured telling him, hey, there's, Raiders around, he'd be more okay. But then telling him, oh, there's a crazy bitch with a lightsaber coming for us. Like, that's different. That could make him more scared. And so I think they told him that white lie they knew it would make him less scared than telling him the truth.
Absolutely, and they needed to keep the truth away from him as well, too, because if they said, hey, this Sith Inquisitor is coming to kill you, my first question as Luke would be like, why me? What's so special about me? So they're trying to keep the secret of him being a spawn of Anakin, and they don't want him to follow in the footsteps of being a Jedi, or potentially leading to the dark side as well. So I think it was more of a you're just a farmer. There's some Tusken Raiders coming to kill us. We've been through this drill. Don't worry about anything. Don't ask any questions.
Yeah, I agree. I think they were trying to keep, as far as he doesn't know the truth about why people are coming to get him, I think it does protect him a little bit longer, because if he's a curious kid, right? Like, clearly he's already thinking, and if he's anything like Leia, with Leia, being able to kind of read people and read minds, he's going to be able to figure it out eventually, right? If they were kind of letting him in on some of those secrets. So it makes sense to me. I just saw a lot of people being like, why lie to him on Twitter? And I was like, well, I mean, to me, it makes sense. So I figured we would discuss that to see. Yeah, it would raise questions for sure. I agree, Red Hood Outlaw. So Reva uses her lightsaber as a light, obviously, because it's dark out. She was waiting, just like Bruce said, that the Inquisitor was going to show up at night like a predator.
I have to say that made my day when she was using it as a light, because if I was a Jedi or a Sith Lord, I'd constantly be in the dark.
Like Castaway, you put a picture of Padme on there.
Exactly.
I'd be using that thing to click my face, everything.
Trey, keep doing that real quick. A little faster.
No. Oh my God, Corey.
I see your Schwartz is as big as mine.
Spaceballs. I hate yogurt. Oh God, man. What the hell, Corey? But she uses her lightsaber as a light, and Owen begins his attack, and sure enough, he's a farmer. Well, he's a moisture farmer, so he probably doesn't have to deal with wolves or anything like that. So he's a terrible shot, almost as bad as a stormtrooper. But hey, we'll give him a break. He was surprised when Brew brought out all the firearms. Anyways, he was like, Second Amendment. No, I'm just kidding. But this one cool thing was obviously lots of flower pots were destroyed. Lots, it was kind of, when you think about all the money spent on watering those flowers, Reva has ruined their year. That was a lot of money.
Does it rain in Tatooine?
No, it doesn't. Remember, we learned that it doesn't rain in Tatooine. That it used to be an ocean, but because they've been, pulling all of its resources and spices, that it's, made it a desert basically. We kind of learned that in Book of Boba Fett, I think, especially. But I don't know if you guys noticed this. Obviously, clearly, Reva's weakened, right? Like, so she's not. I mean, I feel like if she wasn't injured, she didn't have, the hole in her stomach, that battle probably would have ended in seconds. Would you guys agree?
Oh, definitely, 100%.
Yeah. Okay. But did any of you guys notice that Owen? He uses a pole to fight Reva. Do you guys recognize what that pole was from? A little bit of an Easter egg for you guys. The pole, you've seen it before. Obviously, I don't think it's the same pole, but this pole that he was fighting her with was the same pole that Han Solo used and Luke to kind of keep the doors from closing in on them in that little sewer, oh gosh, that sewer scrap Imperial dumpster container that was closing in that had that creature in it. And also, I think it was in Book of Boba Fett for like a second with Mandalorian when he was building his ship.
This
it was
the
kind
most
of
famous pole ever.
The famous pole ever. I saw it and I was like, oh, I know what that's from. Does anyone care? Probably not.
No.
Just a pole, Trey. Why are you talking about a pole, man? Like, but just some clear Easter eggs that they're doing there, which was really cool. But what I really did love is obviously they're kind of setting up to why things are the way they are. But like when Reva pushes Owen on the ground and he hurts his knee, it kind of like shows like why in A New Hope he's kind of tired. He is kind of walks around with a bit of a limp to him. So I loved how they kind of explained that finally. Zero Atlantis cares. See, Zero Atlantis cares. He cares about the pole. We're just pole lovers. Okay. No,
man, you are all over it today, Trey. Like this is
came
fantastic.
I thought this was family friendly.
Star Wars
Trey's
is family friendly until you bring out the pole.
Trey's over there working on his lightsaber and talking about poles.
Where is Super Wife when you need her?
Wonder Wife, help me. Oh God, this went too far or too long. But I love this is where they kind of really reveal what she's after, and I kind of was starting to recognize it before. But Owen asks, like, what do you want? And she says justice, which clearly she's referencing like Anakin killed my family, my friends. when, they were just children. He did it, cold-hearted, not even blinking an eye. He killed us. And she's like, and I'm going to do the one thing that's going to hurt him. It's going to be just, it's going to be fair that I take something from him, which even though he doesn't know yet that Luke is his child, the fact that she would have that on him and, could see the truth in her eyes, maybe that would be enough. But it kind of interesting how they played that out. So guys, as we clearly, Reva, she's wreaking havoc. She's beating up Brew. Owen tells Luke to run, and Luke flees to the nearby rock formation as Reva follows. We now get to the crazy part that I've been waiting to talk to you guys about. Vader arrives, and he's ready to throw down with Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan is clearly confident this time. He's not running. He's standing his ground as Vader approaches. We're clearly seeing that the confidence starting to come from Obi-Wan. As Vader says, "Have you come to destroy me?" And you get Obi-Wan saying another iconic line from Revenge of the Sith.
Yes.
"I'll do what I must." And he does the classic Obi-Wan pose. I don't know about you guys, but I was clapping at that time.
Yeah, that was super rad.
I was clapping when he said, "Then you will die."
Then you will die. Yeah, it was so cool. I mean, like, you just know, like, the moment is here, right? Like, people are so disappointed with episode 3's lightsaber battle. And it was just like, well, what did you expect? Obi-Wan is not Obi-Wan yet. We're even still not quite where Obi-Wan is about to be yet. And this beginning battle, guys, I don't know if you were paying attention, but the choreography of this particular fight sequence was very reminiscent of their sparring session that was in the previous episode. Did you guys notice that? Some of them were doing similar moves.
Yeah, it did look kind of similar to it, yeah.
I'm not surprised, that's how they fight, it's what they've trained all their lives, and that's yeah.
One thing that I really liked about this particular fight sequence, it was very different, obviously, from Revenge of the Sith. Like, Revenge of the Sith, I think, is the gold standard for lightsaber duels in the history of Star Wars, right? And then right below that, you got the whole Darth Maul match. With this particular scene, I really loved, I don't know about you guys, but I loved how much they were using the environment around them, like using the force moves as they were fighting. I thought that it was very different than what we've kind of seen before, and how fluid it was to use the force in the middle of a lightsaber duel. What did you guys think of that? Did that have like a cool impact on you? Like, were you like, yeah, that's cool, I dig that?
Yeah, I thought it was really cool to use that terrain around them. And it also, Vader does that move where he basically Superman punches the ground and breaks it. But that then leads me to my biggest complaint of the episode. He gets the high ground. Everyone laughs at that.
Oh, you were just waiting for him to say
he's finally got the high ground. And he just dumps all of these rocks onto Obi-Wan. And he was fine with that. Like, that was, to me, the show has built Vader up to be such an evil guy. He's finally got his master in his grasp. And he's okay with just burying him under rocks, and that's how he kills him? Like, I felt like for him to get the status, like, to be satisfied with this, he would have wanted to slice him down. And so for him to just dump rocks on him and be like, all right, I'm done now. All of the trauma that I've had and anger that I've had for the last 10 years.
Interesting.
All good. And then he walks away. To me, I was like, that doesn't fit him at all. Like, I don't know.
Maybe he just knows that in this Disney Plus thing, people don't die with lightsaber strikes anymore.
I guess.
I don't know. It really rubbed me the wrong way.
Interesting. Okay.
It didn't bother me as much, actually.
It didn't bother me either.
And here's why. I think they're, like you said a little bit earlier, Trey, there's still a little Anakin left in him. So while I think that he was, smashing it on top of him, he was like, yeah, that's about it. And then he was, walking away. Similar to, like, I think the one cool thing that we've seen is every fight up to this, even when they have the upper advantage, they never fully kill each other, if that makes sense. So like they get super damn close and then they stop, like he could have killed him while he was rubbing him in the fire and shit like that. But it's been this kind of like, how far are we willing to go? And then right when it's you're almost there, they pull it back a little bit. So to me, it puts in the thought, like, because I would say in some ways with Obi-Wan kind of reconnecting with the Force all the way and saying that he was going to kill Anakin this time. He was going to do what he finally needed to do. He almost had some of that Sith power, in some ways, because he's letting hate. And remember, Jedis are supposed to defend, right? Supposedly. And now he's going on to kill Anakin Skywalker. So it kind of changes, in my opinion, the realm of what the Force is for the Jedis. And it's been a very interesting, back and forth for me in that sense, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. For me personally, I felt like, well, I don't know if you guys already know this, but according to like Star Wars lore and like the comics and some of the books, like the Emperor purposefully gave Darth Vader shitty technology to have control over him, like, so his arms and his legs kind of lag, so he's not able to, like, he could not do what he does in Revenge of the Sith with all the crazy lightsaber moves. Like, in terms of a lightsaber duelist, he's not going to win the fancy award. He's going to win the overpower award. And I think it was clear, while Obi-Wan was super strong with the Force, Vader was on another level, for this part one of this fight, right? He was able to stop whatever Obi-Wan was really throwing at him at this time. So I think in a way, maybe Vader said in his mind, like, okay, yes, I have the high ground, but if Obi-Wan did a flip and stuff, like, he would probably get me, because I don't move as fast. I know that's like an excuse, but like, I'm gonna look at it that way because I didn't have a problem with it so much. I was okay with Vader being like, I'm stronger with the Force than you. I'm going to crush the life out of you. Now, was it a very evil thing to do? Like Dr. Evil says, like, I'm just gonna, leave it to, all go according to plan, something like that. But Oracle's Clock Tower says that wasn't so much Vader, Zero Atlantis, the Admiral. So it's a response. Okay, so Zero Atlantis says, what I had a problem with is the fact that Obi-Wan is basically responsible for everyone on Alderaan dying in A New Hope by letting Vader live after this fight.
And then Oracle Clock said that wasn't so much Vader and Zero Atlantis, that Admiral was at fault. So
yeah, I agree with Oracle on that one. I think every evil thing Vader did after that, then
he's basically saying he didn't kill Vader, and therefore everything that Vader does after that is
true. Very true. I hear what you're saying, Zero.
Which is a solid point, but that's where I go back to it. Is you could tell that these, in some ways, they still kind of are brothers, like they keep fighting hardcore each other. Right when they have the chance to finish each other off, they end up not going the full
well, I mean,
route
I think in a way, and this is kind of hinted more later on, I think Obi-Wan still believes he can reach Anakin at this point. I think he still believes. And we'll dive into that more, but let's talk about this next part real quick first. So obviously Obi-Wan is amongst the rubble and he's using the Force to hold the boulders from crushing him. This was where I felt like it was a slight missed opportunity in this part. We start to hear voices from the previous episodes, from the sparring match, from Revenge of the Sith. Obi-Wan is feeling kind of the negative things, all the guilt he's felt, all the issues that he's held on his shoulders, but then he kind of silences those negative thoughts, I guess you could say, and starts to see visions of Leia and Luke and the kind of the what the future is all about, right? Like that the future is what gives him hope and gives him that strength to carry on and to build his connection back into the Force. Here's where I felt like it was a missed opportunity. to me, they didn't need to show Qui-Gon. I think they still could have saved that. But I think a simple word of encouragement from Qui-Gon at that moment would have been a little more meaningful in terms of what would have given him the energy to force push all that rubble off him. Do you guys agree, or are you perfect with how it happened?
I'll let you go first.
I felt like it wasn't a time for it. I'm kind of with you and I'm kind of not, because like I felt like, yes, it would have been a good time for him to kind of get that pep talk that he needed.
Yeah.
But I think at that time, he didn't need him the most right there.
Okay.
Like, he could have used it, but he didn't need it. And I think spoiler, Qui-Gon shows up later and he says, like, I've always been there. You just weren't ready for me yet. And I think that was kind of that moment where like he still wasn't ready for him yet. And I mean, obviously the thoughts of the kids and stuff like that was enough to push him through it. And so yes, it would have been cool, but I don't think Obi-Wan needed it in that moment.
How about you, Super Bro Corey?
I didn't have an issue with it at all, actually, because Obi-Wan, in my opinion, hasn't reached full potential with the Force yet, even up to that point. So for me, it was, he's underneath the rock. He has all these bad thoughts going on in his head. He's starting to see the future. He's getting the hope back of, the hope that, they need to be Jedis. So for me, it was, he had to find his self back to the Force. He had to find his own way back to the Force. I wouldn't have, in any of the writing, I wouldn't have used Qui-Gon in that part specifically.
Okay.
I don't think it would have helped as much. Maybe if
you don't think it would have been as impactful.
No. I don't think so. Maybe I think it would have probably been a little bit cooler if, maybe some of the other, Jedis were kind of chiming in, as, maybe like a Yoda, kind of remembering what Yoda has said to him in the past, or something along those lines to kind of help fully reconnect him to the Force. Because once when he found his way back to the Force, that's when he truly unlocked the full potential of the Force too. So I was okay with it.
Okay, very cool. So I feel like this is the next part I really wanted to talk to you guys about. As Zero Atlantis said, sorry, Corey, can you go back on one? That would have been the perfect moment to bring in Qui-Gon Jinn, in my opinion. Okay, so he likes my idea. Trevor H says he would have preferred it. But I just says pep talk. Orkin Beans, I would have been use the Force. Oh, like what kind of Obi-Wan does in A New Hope. Okay, Luke moment. Yeah. Maybe it was important for him to find his hope himself. Oh, kind of like what Super Bro Corey said. Okay, or cool. That's cool. It could have been cool, but not needed, like Mr. Mr. Orc said.
Yeah, because to be honest with you, I think that I didn't think Qui-Gon. I was even under the impression that maybe Qui-Gon doesn't appear at all in this episode. I thought there was a very good possibility that he didn't show up. So it leads into the next one. So I'm glad that they did have some in them, but I'm hoping that in a future one where we get like starting to show the Resistance, I want to see him kind of train with Qui-Gon some as well. So I hope they show that in future seasons.
Okay, very cool. And Batan says, I agree. I thought Qui-Gon was going to come in for a pep talk. It seemed like if there was a moment for it, that was it, but I agree. Mask of Shy, what's up, bro? Guys, if you have not checked out Mask of Shy's channel, you should. He's an incredible artist. I think he's going to be doing a show with Zod Writer as well.
He did. It was a great show, by the way.
Oh, damn it. I missed it. Yeah. I'm so sorry, Mask of Shy. I thought it was like a couple days later.
No, I saw it. It was this week. I think it was Thursday.
Oh, I'll have to watch it. Mask of Shy, guys, is a brilliant artist. He made a really cool character arts for Super Bro Corey and I that you see on a lot of our live show thumbnails. Just super talented, really cool guy. Really enjoy Massive Shot. He's been on our show before, so if you guys haven't checked him out, please do. He's just a really cool guy. Really appreciate him. And I'll have to check out that interview with Zodrider. I'm so sad that I missed it, but great stuff. It was Thursday. Shit.
Yep.
See, no, my luck for sure. No problem, man. Yeah. So guys, definitely check out Mask of Shy. He's wonderful. But here's what I really wanted to talk to you guys about. That when I saw this, I think I've spent literally 2 hours talking about it with my wife, really breaking it down. And it's funny because she doesn't like to do that. Like she's completely in it for like entertainment value. She's not really a fan of like sitting down and like really diving in deep to what we think was going on in the minds of the characters. Which is fine. It's great to kind of talk with someone like that. But she often looks at me and goes like, seriously, Trey, like an hour and we're still talking about this? Like, yes, ma'am, we are still talking about this. But guys, I really wanted to talk to you about this. Obviously, Obi-Wan has found a new sense of hope, a new connection that has raised the bar for him in terms of his connection with the Force, almost godlike mode, right? And then we have this great lightsaber scene, but something crazy happens that we kind of knew was coming because Hayden was coming back. Corey, I pulled the clip. Can you play it? I know we're going to get a copyright strike here, guys, but I really want everyone to see it so that way you can tell what I'm talking about here.
Did you label that as episode 6 emotional scene?
Yes, I did.
Okay, you ready to play it?
Yep, let's go ahead and play it, guys. So this is for you. I want to get your thoughts on this entire scene. Something in particular that happens, though. Go ahead, Corey. It's like a 3-minute clip.
Anakin. Anakin's gone. I am what remains. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Anakin. For all of it. I am not your failure, Obi-Wan. You didn't kill Anakin Skywalker. I did. The same way I will destroy you then my friend is truly dead. Goodbye, Darth. Obi-Wan!
Whew.
Insane, man. Absolutely insane.
I love that scene so much. I like literally the fact that I'm still thinking about it, partly because of the imagery that they did. One of the greatest things about Star Wars, I feel like, especially when it comes to Anakin and Obi-Wan, is their use of colors. Like, perfect example, when we see Attack of the Clones, the battle with Count Dooku and Anakin, and even with Obi-Wan, when you see Obi-Wan fight, all you see is blue. You don't really see the red lightsaber when he's fighting Count Dooku, because pure of heart. Count Dooku, you see red, right? Anakin, you see both. You see the conflict of blue and red. And they use it again here with Obi-Wan constantly staying blue. But more importantly, Anakin shows shades of blue. And if you look closely, as we learned in Revenge of the Sith, right, your eyes change colors, with hatred, right? When you're a Sith, his eyes weren't that color yet. They weren't Sith color when he was in the blue light. But as their conversation goes, and man, give props to Ewan McGregor, because when he broke down in tears, I'm not gonna lie, I did a
yeah.
He hit, I think someone said he hit so damn hard. And like, Restore the Sign First Guy, I'm so glad. Thank you. First off, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. This is literally what I'm going to get to here. This is what I've talked about with my wife for an hour. The smile. When Obi-Wan says, "I'm sorry, Anakin," he keeps saying, "I'm sorry, Anakin. I'm sorry for all of it." Trying to, the guilt he's been weighing on himself for 10 years. And Vader says, when the light starts to turn red, "I am not your failure. You didn't kill Anakin. I did." And then that's when the red light consumes him and he smiles there. Why do you think he smiles? Because Obi-Wan's beaten him, right? His one mission at this point is to kill Obi-Wan Kenobi, and he failed again when Anakin, or I guess you could say Darth Vader, thinks he's at his prime, that he even says, like, "You really thought you could have beaten me, Master?" And yet here he is. He lost again to Obi-Wan Kenobi, outsmarting him. He smiles. "You didn't kill Anakin. I did." Orkin Beans 14. Why do you think that happened?
First of all, I think that's probably the greatest scene in Star Wars history. Like, that was just so impactful and crazy. And with the smile, I think the smile was just a visual representation of that. Like, a lot of times we've been talking about, like, there's a little bit of Anakin left in there. There's still some Anakin in there. That smile and the red taking over his face, that was us watching Anakin die. Like, that was just such a good way of just, holy shit. Like, it was just so strong and powerful. And, like, obviously we can't see that internal battle that Vader and Anakin would have had. But with that smile, we do get to see it. And we saw what side won. It was, oh my God, it was crazy.
Yeah. How about you, Super Bro Corey?
Yeah, it was interesting to me. I don't know. I go back and forth because I think you're right about the eye colors, and I think that's one thing that we have to remember as well, that it wasn't the full Sith eye color as well. And it was kind of cool seeing how they were playing with the blue and red coloring. I wasn't surprised to hear Obi-Wan, apologize to him. Like the last time, you were like a brother to me, like it was kind of like he didn't understand how he could do it. And this time he realizes, like kind of what we said, Duel of the Fates, like he understands what happens now. And he does think it's his fault. So he's apologizing for it. Vader, I don't know. I still think that there's a little bit of Anakin in him still, obviously with how everything plays out. He finds his way back to that. But to me, it's almost like Vader is always going to have a little bit of Anakin in him until he kills Obi-Wan. He needs to get rid of Obi-Wan because obviously Padme's gone. He doesn't have any kids. I feel like the last thing that, if anything, that can connect him back to the light side, the Jedi Force side, is Obi-Wan in some ways. So it's almost like he needs to get rid of Obi-Wan in order to fully go to the Sith. If that makes kind of sense?
Yeah.
So I think it was one of those things where like he was just trying to hurt Obi-Wan even more. So either Obi-Wan kills him and all the pain and suffering that Vader's going through, and maybe goes through that, or at least close enough where Vader can finally finish him off real quick too. So, and do what he needs to do. So I feel like there's still a lot of conflict in that last remaining portion, and for freaking Obi-Wan to just walk away from him again, man, like that killed, I think, him even more. The fact that he was able to just walk away, because he's like yelling for like in Revenge, in the episode 3, he's like he's being burnt and everything. He's like Obi, and then when he yells Obi-Wan again, it's just like frustration that he can't, that they both can't kill each other. It's just like this, it almost, peak release, and it doesn't, happen. So
that's actually very interesting, Corey, that you brought that up about Revenge of the Sith, because there's actually footage of the original scene that George Lucas tweaked, where Anakin says, "Help me," when he's reaching for Obi-Wan.
Yes.
He says, "Help me."
Yes. That's the line that I was trying to remember. Help me. And once again, it was almost like a help me moment. And, you kind of wonder, what would have happened if he did, help him there. It's tough. It shows, that Obi-Wan was okay for him to die back on Mustafar, and as of right now, with his oxygen all beat up again, okay for him to die on his own, but they could never fully kill each other, right? They that's always where
never quite go all the way through it, right? Here's what I kind of took from it after, and I've talked about it like I said, so long with my wife about it, but like I kind of look at it as one, Obi-Wan is like he's like bleeding his heart out. I think it was literally his moment that he was trying to one last time, can I save Anakin? Can I save him? By saying, I'm sorry, like forgive me, please. Like I'm sorry that for all of it. And I think it's at this moment, right? Like, and here's the best part. It's Anakin's still there, right? Because it's the immatureness, not the immaturity, but it's just the youngness of him that he just hasn't quite experienced it, and thinking he can one up Obi-Wan through the mind, through his mental tortures, because he was, right? Like when Obi-Wan wasn't connected to the Force, he lost the confidence. He was having that guilt that he was carrying with him, and he was, taunting him. I think in episode 3, when you see Anakin, in the Jedi robes, letting, Obi-Wan know, I'm coming for you, I'm almost there. And he was taunting him in episode, in the next part of episode 3, where he's just like basically, hunting him, just teasing, playing with his food. And here he is. Obi-Wan's outsmarted him again and again. And here we go. And I think in his mind, clearly seeing Obi-Wan's hurt still by their relationship, I think it was the last possible thing he could do to try to hurt Obi-Wan, to basically say, like, you didn't kill Anakin Skywalker. I've always been here. Darth Vader has always been here in Anakin. He's like, I killed him. And if you think there's any possible chance for you to save Anakin or get him back, he's gone. He's dead. So it was kind of that last scene where Obi-Wan's like, when he says, well, then my friend is truly dead and there's nothing I can do. He was thinking that was going to hurt Obi-Wan. And it does, right? There's no way it wouldn't hurt, but it didn't break Obi-Wan like it was hoping it would do. And that Obi-Wan was willing to still kind of one up Vader in a way and say, I'm going to leave you here. Like I don't have to deal with you anymore. Like I won, basically. And the fact that Obi-Wan was able to, in a way, Vader's own words kind of backfired on him to say that he was the one that killed Anakin. He kind of freed Obi-Wan even more of guilt, knowing that there was really nothing he could have done, in a sense, that Anakin was always potentially going to be succumbed by this Darth Vader personality that was within his soul. So I loved that it was Vader in a psychotic kind of way, smiling like, oh, I'm going to get you. I got this one thing on you. Like you think Anakin's still here. He's not. It's just me.
But he also kind of is, though. And
that's the part where Vader, the youngness, right? Like he thinks that Anakin is gone, but the truth is he was always there. Anakin never left,
Yeah, Anakin never left.
But Vader's ego told him that Anakin was gone.
Let's get my boy #Restore the Snyderverse guy his super chat before we continue on here. Let's do this one. Actually, we're going to do this one.
The time has come. Execute Order 66.
Because shortly after that, let's see here. Powerful Man, one of the best scenes ever. I loved how we saw an explanation for why Obi-Wan calls him Darth in the New Hope.
Yes, he does. Yeah. And that's the difference, right? He calls him Anakin. Anakin, I'm sorry. Anakin, it's, like, I'm sorry for all of it. But when Darth Vader tells him Anakin's dead, I killed him, then it's the realization that, all right, goodbye then, Darth.
There it is.
Perfect.
Red Hooded Outlaw with a $20 super chat.
Holy shit, bro. Thank you, Red Hooded Outlaw. Oh my goodness.
This is the conversation I was waiting for. #Delta Squad.
You knew we were going to dive in deep, my man. You knew it. You knew, Red Hooded Outlaw, we were going to do this, because when we saw that scene, I was like, there is so much behind that smile that we have to talk about it. Corey, can you play my man, Red Hooded Outlaw, with that $20 super chat coming in hot? Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate it. Here you go. This is for you.
Well, that's the real trick, isn't it? And it's going to cost you something extra. 10,000, all in advance.
10,000? We can almost buy our own ship for that.
Again, that's where it gets me back and forth, because it's funny. I know how this is supposed to end, but I want it to change. I still want Anakin to come back personally, even being a Vader guy, so it's like, it makes you
pull, right? Yeah, the tension, like you believe there could, and that's the wonderful thing. And whoever cinematography wise shot this scene, the flip between Anakin with the eyes and Vader with the red light and the blue lights, using that as a way to tell this story about what's going through their minds is heavy.
And that's kind of one of the things that I wanted to talk about today. So let's say we don't know what happens in 4, 5, 6, and so on. Like that, we're watching this chronologically
as it's going.
Yes, we do know that he doesn't have Sith eyes. Is there any way, anything that Obi-Wan could have said, done, do a little differently that could have helped Anakin come back to the light?
I don't think so. Like, he had suffered so much trauma because, like, he loses Qui-Gon right away. So there goes his father figure.
Mhm.
He loses his mom. He loses the love of his life. He presumably thinks he loses his kids.
Mm-hmm.
And then he also thinks that his master betrayed him. Like, he has so much anger that I really, and like just the way he was trying to twist stuff, and it's just like, to me, like, I also was like, yep, Anakin's gone. Like, obviously I know later on that he, we're fine, but like, for me, it was like, yeah, Anakin's dead. He killed him. Like, there's no saving Vader at that point. Like, he's gone.
And it makes the connection between him and Luke even deeper, because when you think about it, Obi-Wan tried twice to save Anakin, couldn't do it. Ahsoka in Rebels tried to save Anakin, couldn't do it. His own Padawan. It's the connection with his son Luke that is able to bring him back from the dark side into the light, And I think that makes it more powerful of what Luke was able to achieve with Vader.
I saw something interesting though. Like it was like something along like mercy, type thing where it wasn't. He didn't show mercy until it was Luke.
Kind of like what he said in his sparring session, right? Where he's just like, you don't win a fight with mercy, you win a fight by.
And look what happens. Freaking Luke, his son, showed mercy, and he sees that actually, whoa, mercy does win. So that's why I always wonder, was there a way to bring him back to light? And I'm curious because I'm one of those guys. I like to give everybody the opportunity, as much opportunity as they possibly can, exhaust all options before I move on. Right? We're back down to a weak side of, he's weakened again.
Yeah.
What happens if we, like I go back to episode 3. What happens if Obi-Wan did help him out there? Picked him up and took him back before the Emperor got to him. In this episode, what happens if he talked about Padme with him, and that they did everything that she could, but she died of a broken heart, and that he did have two kids, a son and a daughter, bring him back to those feels of, Padme, and like it did later on, because clearly we see Luke has a impactful part of his life, but even being that far removed from him, if he would have met, known about Luke even closer to losing Padme, could that have helped alter the change of history for Vader playing out? Clearly he finds his way back to the light eventually, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's why I always question, did we exhaust all options if we were able to change, the path? Were all the options exhausted?
I think he couldn't risk that. Like, in that moment, if Obi-Wan was like, hey, you have 2 kids, they're alive, I've been hanging out with the one, it's pretty cool. Like, oh, also the Emperor's been lying to you. He couldn't risk Vader having that knowledge of him having children and it not work.
Yeah, it's a very dangerous game to play, and almost not it's almost not Obi-Wan's right to at that time, to reveal such a thing, because those kids can't defend themselves at this point. He would really be putting their lives in danger. But in terms of what you're asking, Corey, could Anakin have been saved?
Mm-hmm.
I believe in Revenge of the Sith, there was a possibility. At this moment, I don't believe there's a possibility.
Interesting.
I think it.
But here's the thing, though. Like, this is where my combat. Luke in the actual trilogy 4, 5, and 6 knew right from the get-go that there's still good in him. Being a young, not experienced.
I don't think he says that until Return of the Jedi. I don't think he says, "I sense good in you," the conflict.
Yeah, but still, he picked that up right away for not only having how long of a time span was 4 to 6, not very long. He
was also training with Yoda, and you have to remember the Skywalker bloodline is extremely powerful. I mean, look at Leia.
Sure.
Leia already is presenting some really strong force sensitive abilities.
Sure, but I think by seeing his eyes too, that Obi-Wan should have identified that there's still some good in him as well. And that, by him saying, I killed Anakin Skywalker, and then smiling, Obi-Wan should have realized, oh, he's trying to hurt me with words, let's say something compassionate back, to help, instead of fighting fire with fire, being a little compassionate towards him and showing a little compassion towards him to help guide him back to the light side.
Well, Batan is actually saying something very interesting here that I think is a wonderful point. So. It's about Padme. What's up, good Austin, my man? Austin, it's always good to see you, man. When I see you in the chat, I don't know, it's just always good to see you, bro. I hope you're doing well. Hope you and the lady are doing fine. It's always good to see you, bro. Let's see. He may have a moment, but Vader would come out and kill Kenobi. Yeah, and I think that's the problem, is that they're really, in a sense, is a split personality in Anakin. There is the Darth Vader. There is the Anakin Skywalker. So I think it would be dangerous for Obi-Wan to trust him. But Batan says, Obi-Wan is the reason Padme couldn't turn him good. I firmly believe Padme could have reached out to Anakin if Obi-Wan didn't sneak aboard. Now, see, that's a very interesting thing, because I've wondered that too. I've wondered that for a very long time, ever since seeing Revenge of the Sith. What do you guys think about that? Could Padme have saved Anakin?
I don't think so, because Padme is the reason that he went to the dark side. So he learns this power to keep her alive. He thinks that she's going to die. He knows that the dark side has powers to keep people alive. He's going to choose the dark side. They have cookies over there too. So
delicious cookies.
For me, that's a no-brainer. That's why, in some ways, Padme, he joined the dark side for Padme, and that's why I always wondered if Obi-Wan could have brought him out of it. Nobody knew Anakin better than Obi-Wan in some ways.
When Padme heard that he had murdered the women and the children of the Tusken Raiders, and she was like, "Oh, I'll give you a hug." Okay, I was like, "No." She let this man get away with a lot. And so I don't think she would have pulled him back to the light. I'm with Corey on the whole idea of that. Like, he would have thought the whole time that she's going to die at some point, and so he would have kept trying to just go to the dark side to get more powerful to save her.
Fair enough. The guys, this is exactly what I was looking forward to as well. This deep dive, as Bat Fanatic said, this was always going to be damn good. As long as Palpatine is live and in control, he's going to be a part of the dark side.
But he flipped on him too, Kid Austin. Like he flipped for him for Luke.
Now here's the real question, though, Corey.
Years later.
Well, I mean, let's kind of
that's what I'm saying.
Play devil's advocate here. Do you think there's a possibility that let's say if Vader didn't get so beat up from the lightning from the Emperor when he throws him over, right? And he's still fairly strong, right? Like obviously his arms cut off from Luke in Return of the Jedi. Do you think if he's not messed up, his system isn't broken, he's still breathing okay, he's gonna make it, he's gonna survive? Do you think he tries to convince Luke to become his Padawan to take over the universe? Because Anakin, even in Attack of the Clones, believed that a dictatorship was a possible, good way to rule the galaxy.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think so. The fact that Luke felt the good in him, I think that says it all enough right there that he was coming. He always had an opportunity to come out from the dark side. It was almost like he never. Well, he fully embraced the dark side at some points because of how well. Maybe he didn't in some ways. Maybe he never truly fully embraced either side. He was super powerful for the Jedis. He was obviously super powerful for the Siths. He never completely joined either side, So, man, that's kind of crazy to think about as well. We never saw him at his true potential, and look how strong he is.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about it, Anakin, the Emperor, like we talked about earlier, very much set himself up to rule the galaxy. Like he was never setting up Darth Vader to take the role after him. He was always planning on being the one in control, which is why he gave him shitty technology to stay alive when he became Darth Vader. He made him slow. He made him susceptible to electricity. Yeah, exactly. He did that to have control. It worked out really great for the Emperor in a way.
You would think Anakin would make something better though. Like his whole thing is how he's so good at making shit. You would think he would make some upgrades.
I mean, though, wouldn't the Emperor know about it? He's pretty much force connected to Darth Vader. He senses. I mean, it's kind of referenced here when this one of the very next scenes is. Let's get to that scene eventually. When we'll talk about it. But of course, Obi-Wan leaves Darth Vader again behind. And I love that, the scream. I loved the combination of James Earl Jones' voice and Hayden Christensen's voice.
Oh my God, that was amazing.
So cool. I loved how they tweaked that. To me, the scream in the no is still haunting to me every time I hear it. It still kind of gives me chills just thinking about it.
I think they also perfectly played, like where they're talking to each other, where there's still some good in them, and then it, and then back to the dark side as well. So yeah. I thought that was really cool, kind of switching it back and forth too.
Yeah, they definitely use things for their advantage. But of course, Obi-Wan leaves Darth Vader behind in the dirt once again, and he senses Luke is in trouble and does some light speed to get to Tatooine as soon as possible. And Reva, as he's searching through the canyon for Luke, she finally finds him and is able to trip him up, and he hits his head. And now she has her opportunity for revenge on Darth Vader. But I love how they played this scene too, how they showcased the flashes of her as as Anakin Skywalker on the day of Order 66, the mirroring of them two in the same situation. She's going to kill a defenseless young boy. Is she the same as Hayden? Is she the same as Darth Vader that day? Is she doing the exact same thing? Is she going to make that same choice? And of course, the difference being, and I loved how they did it, with that you see Hayden Christensen on Order 66, where you can see conflict in him right before he's about to kill Reva, supposedly. And you see kind of the head tilt where there's just blankness, like, nope, I'm going to do this. No conflict, no doubt. Boom. There's conflict and fear, and automatically the decision that she just can't do it. She can't be that person.
Well,
Yeah.
I think this is was a great scene because, you know, what does she need to do to become powerful? You know, give in to that hate and fear, right? You know, so if she kills young, you know, Luke Skywalker, that is her, you know, kind of, you know, killing her young Padawan self, you know, like embracing the full dark side to maybe be as strong as, you know, as strong like Vader and be able to finish the job the next go around, you know, type thing. Because as we know, Sith kills Sith, that's just something that they like to do with each other. So it was interesting to me. I wonder what, you know, what she would have done with Luke's body, you know, in some ways. So like, let's say she kills Luke. Do you think she brings him over to Vader and like, hey, look at this, I killed your spawn, bitch, you know, like something along those lines? Or
you know, I think it's like, you know, search your feelings. You know, I'm not lying to you. You know, I found out that you have a son, you have a daughter that, you know, I think kill Luke, she would have found Leia and probably did what like Orkin Bean said, where lure Vader in saying, I have your child, I killed the other one, are you going to save this one, you know?
Which kind of brings me back to what I said before. If Anakin's going on a save mission,
I mean, but you also have to look at is he saving Leia to have, I mean, why did he try to recruit Luke? We can defeat the Emperor, right? Like we can overthrow him. You're going to be stronger than me, you know? It'd be passing the torch, you know. In this case, it would literally be passing the torch. It wouldn't be like the Emperor.
Do you think he would have ruled the same way as Emperor Palpatine? You know, Palpatine was different in some ways than Vader.
I think it would have been, I don't know. That's a very interesting question about Vader. Would he rule the same way of Emperor? Remember that topic? We should do a video on that sometime. Okay. I like that. I think that's a whole nother like 30-minute discussion that we could do for a stream, for a Delta Squad stream. Because holy shit, that's a good idea. Are you writing it down? Just write it down, Corey. Don't forget that shit. But what do you guys think? She brings back Luke to Owen, to Brew, and to Obi-Wan. And of course she says, I couldn't do it, you know, like, and Obi-Wan has a very touching conversation with her, you know, basically telling her like, you're free, you're able to make your own choices and live the life you choose. What did you guys think of that whole entire scene?
I had seen something earlier that said that Luke never actually sees her. And I thought that was kind of a cool detail because that would obviously bring up questions.
Yeah.
As he'd be like, hey, so why did that lady with the lightsaber come after me? And so I thought that was a cool little detail as to like why he never really brings up the fact that he was chased by her. But I just thought this was the perfect way to just wrap her up. And it was, to me, I felt like it was a great FU to all those people that said she was a bad character.
Yeah.
Like, it was the perfect example of like, just give it time, let it happen, let her story finish, and then you can make your feelings known about what you thought of the character. Like, people were so quick to judge her, and she just had such a perfect roundedness. And she's another character that I would love to see maybe one episode to see what she goes and does afterwards. Does she become a bounty hunter? Does she just find a nice planet to live on and just do her own thing? Like, she would be really cool to see what she does with her life after this.
Yeah. How about you, Corey? What did you think of that scene?
Spectacular as well. It gave her the ending that I kind of wanted to see, you know. I'm glad that she's, again, it's once again, you know, I like seeing that, I get, because I guess in some ways, you know, like I agree with what Anakin says in the third episode a lot of times. You know, the Jedi aren't necessarily all good either, and that's why I always liked the, you know, like you know, kind of wishy-washy of it all. and it becomes gray. It's not blue versus red in episode 3. It really starts to show the Jedi's kind of turn gray a little bit and start to do some things differently as well.
Yeah.
Kind of like they should have arrested Palpatine versus kill him, which is what Mace Windu would have done. So I always like to bring up that question as well, and maybe that's another question we could talk about. If Mace Windu would have been like, you know what, Anakin, you're right, you're master, you're coming with us, we're going to arrest him, thanks for, getting me right on the right track. We're going to arrest Palpatine. Does he become Darth Vader as well? So that's another question we'll have to talk about.
I think, that's a cool topic that we'll have to talk about again too.
But so I think that it worked out well. It played together. I like seeing that, mixture of right versus wrong, and seeing bad people, or people who are lost come back to the light. I like those storylines. So I was glad to see it happen here. And I do hope that we see maybe her pop up in a Resistance episode or something along those lines.
Okay. Corey, can you go to our next slide, please, sir? So Obi-Wan did a lot of traveling in this episode. When you think about the amount of, flight miles he probably has now.
So this is the next slide, Trey.
We have finally Vader gets back to his castle. He's all, bandaged, backed up. His armor is back to the way it was. But he gets a call from Daddy Palpatine, Mr. Emperor. And guys, first off, it was wonderful to see Ian McDermott back as the Emperor. Even though the makeup wasn't quite the same, and you can tell some aging has happened, but once again, he's back as the Emperor. I don't care. He can do it until he's 100 if he wants to,
I have a receipt that I would like to point out during this scene.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Last week, Trey and I doing the show, having a nice little conversation, and Trey's like, man, the music, there's one song that I really, really want to hear. And I said, Trey, give it one episode. There's one more, buddy. One more. And sure enough, when I saw the subtitles pop up and it said that song, I said, oh, yes, I can't wait to bring this up. Cannot wait to bring this up.
I can't wait to throw it in Trey's face and be like,
I told you the music was coming.
Hey, man, that you were absolutely right, because I feel like the importance of the scene was one, the Emperor, this was such a great, the dialogue in this episode, especially these last few scenes, were phenomenal. Like when the Emperor is like, I still sense conflict in you, it's just like, you have to let go of Obi-Wan if you do. And he's like, kind of just talking to him like the Emperor normally would, kind of a concerning voice and stuff like that. And then he kind of leaves a sentence unended. He doesn't quite put a period on it. It's basically like, what I'm going to say? If you don't get this shit out of your head and focus on what I need done, I'm going to kill you because you don't serve my purpose no more. And I love that Darth is just like, Obi-Wan's out of my thoughts. And at that moment, when you hear the Imperial March, that's when Darth Vader is truly born, because he has let go of what makes Anakin weak, which is his one-sided focus, on the mission, his mission, more importantly. And now he is just a complete servant for the Emperor. Guys, what do you think? What do you think about this entire thing? You got the Imperial March like Orc and Beans predicted.
I liked it. I'm with you on that this was him cutting off his last tie to Anakin by being like, you know what, Obi-Wan isn't, a part of my life anymore. And it also explains why he doesn't see him again until much, much later. It explains why there's that gap of him not chasing after him.
Yeah, him not hunting him.
And yeah, like Red Hood just said, he is now Darth Vader.
Which, I go back to my point, obviously Palpatine helped him get back and get his new, breathing, going again. If Obi-Wan would have helped him in this episode.
Corey, if you want to just do a whole episode on this topic, just say so. We'll do it.
I know Corey is like, Corey, here's what we're going to do. Now that we're kind of waiting until the Bad Batch and Andor comes out, I think we can do these theory debates, these Star Wars Delta Squad debates.
Our what if episodes.
Yeah. I think that'd be fun. So write down these topics.
And we have some things to review as well, too. We could do some of the movies, or I know Bad Batch Season 2 is coming out, as well as some other stuff. So maybe we could, because Cody, you haven't seen Bad Batch or Clone Wars all the way.
I'm in Season 2 of Clone Wars, but there's so many episodes of it that I think I might just skip it for now. Like, I want to watch the movies again.
Yeah.
So I think I might start watching the movies, and then just when I have the time, I'll start watching the episodes.
I just am starting watching Clone Wars again, and I'm in Season 2 as well. And I forgot how much I love Season 2. The Brain Invaders episode, where the
zombie one thing was crazy.
It was cool because it was like a reference to aliens and
it was creepy. I think that was the last episode I just watched was the Genosian zombies.
Oh, cool. Yeah, see, Corey, you got to watch it because they do some crazy shit on Clone Wars, and there's a lot of references to other great sci-fi content that they use to kind of tell their story a bit. It's really fun. You'll love Clone Wars. But okay, so Corey, did you have anything more to add to the Vader phone call with the Emperor?
No.
Okay, so now Obi-Wan, he's traveling to Alderaan.
All the wrong places.
And he returns Lola to the lovely Leia, who is dressed up like a badass, like a princess, but yet she has a gun holster on.
Yeah.
Very much Leia. And I love that her mom has kind of accepted it now. She's just like, there's nothing I can do. You're not going to be a lady. You're going to be a lady warrior, And I love that whole scene where she's like, who are we greeting today? Like, am I going to be a diplomat for my cousins? And it's Obi-Wan, who's come back to see her one last time. And I just love this whole, once again, a cherry on the top of the icing and stuff like that. The whole relationship between Obi-Wan and Leia throughout this series has been absolutely spectacular, like a true highlight of the show. What did you guys think about Obi-Wan taking the time to tell Leia a little bit about her parents, her true parents?
I love the callback to in the very beginning of the season. She keeps saying, you're hiding something from me. Like, you're lying to me about something. And him to be like, all right, the truth is I did know your parents. And then to just lifts off the characteristics of what side she got from which parent was really cool. And also it was interesting because he does kind of talk about Anakin as Anakin's gone, so it was kind of cool to see that he still is accepting the fact that his friend is gone.
Yeah.
Do you think that he should have mentioned about a brother or something like that?
No, because right now the safest thing to do is to not tell her about it, I think. Well, I get where you're going with that. I see the smirk coming of do you think it would have been a good idea so that way she would have been a little hesitant to kiss just any stranger? They've been like, where are you from? You're not my brother, are you? How would I know? Ooh, that's gonna be a tough one to explain.
Remember
Han
that?
Solo's face.
Right. Yeah, that was good.
No, just some things we didn't quite plan, in the whole Star Wars lore. The Good Austin says, "Bro, she put Lolo in the holster." Yeah, that was cute. She is just amazing. Really did pick a brilliant little actress to play Leia.
She hasn't done a lot. Really? This is an early thing for her because I was looking her up. She's only done a couple small things. I think this is her first real big thing.
Yeah. And you know what? I hopefully they prepared her, because I'm sure people are like, holy shit, that's little Leia. She's going to be a mega star someday. Plausible deniability, Corey. Yeah, exactly. Good, Austin. I especially love, they do kind of clear some things up. He kind of tells her a little bit about her mom and what she gets from both sides, from her mom, from her dad. And it's very true. It very much is the splits between Padme and Anakin. But I love that he tells, Senator Organa, like, if you need me, call me, and kind of referencing that, like, you're my only hope, Obi-Wan. You helped my father during the Clone Wars. So kind of cool. Nice little exit. What are you laughing about?
I was just thinking about plausible deniability, Corey, and then I thought of
Independence Day.
Han Solo's face when he realizes that they kissed. Yeah.
He's like, didn't you stick your tongue in his mouth? Like, whoops. Somehow I always knew. You always knew, and you made out with me? Like, yeah, that's how we say hello in Alderaan.
Step brother.
No. This episode has gone way too far. But of course, the moment we were all waiting for was Obi-Wan's return to Tatooine. Yeah, it was a great way to say goodbye. Obi-Wan's return to Tatooine, and he's packing up. He's going to be moving to his new hut rather than living in the cave down by the river or desert river. Yeah. But he stops by to see Owen because he still has that cool little spaceship toy to hand to little Luke. And I thought this was a really nice interaction. Like, yeah, Obi-Wan's kind of gone above and beyond to help Luke and to just be a part of his life. But I think the fact that Owen appreciates when Obi-Wan says, like, he should just be a kid. He needs time to just enjoy life, because the future is going to happen whether I like it or not. He's on a path, he's on a journey, he's on a destiny that is going to be a tough journey. So he's like, so right now he can enjoy what life has to offer. And I love that Owen was like, hey, like, do you want to meet him? And of course, guys, the moments one of the moments we were all waiting for. Hello there. Holy shit. That was so cool to hear him say that. But of course, we get Force Ghost Qui-Gon Jinn. Guys, when you saw Qui-Gon Jinn, what were your thoughts?
I felt like they handled it right. Like, I felt like it was short and sweet. It got us the pop that we wanted to get. And I am on team. There is going to be season 2, and I'm hoping that Qui-Gon's going to be a little more involved in season 2.
Yeah, that would be cool. Corey, how about you? What was it like seeing Qui-Gon? We haven't seen him in over 20 years.
I wonder, and I really hope we hear more about this. Was Qui-Gon in this the entire time, or is this one of the changes that they made right at the end for the ending of season 1?
You're saying in talks of why he was shown at the very, very end like that?
Yes.
Okay, not just in general. Was Qui-Gon always around?
Yes. So I'm curious if I think that this may lead into I would personally, so we got to see Hayden and Obi-Wan back together. I don't think we're ever going to see Vader and Obi-Wan in the same area together ever again, personally, in the show. Yeah. I think it would raise way too many questions then if they saw each other once more and he was still the master type thing. Yeah. But what I think that they could do is I think that they could show, this more now. We want to see Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan. This could be an entire show on its side while Vader's doing something else as well. So I know it can't be a whole season of him just training with Qui-Gon but there's so many questions that I want to hear answered from Qui-Gon as well. Like, Qui-Gon, do you think if you were still around, yes, he got that
You think
justification.
they will answer that question for
Yes,
us? Like Qui-Gon will speak on that?
Yes, I hope so. It'd be one of my questions, like, hey, did I do something wrong, Master Qui-Gon, and I think we know what Qui-Gon's going to say. But it would be a super interesting episode if they kind of took a deep dive into if Qui-Gon would be like, yeah, he would have been okay if I was still around. So sorry, it didn't happen that way. It wasn't your fault, type thing. So
intriguing.
I hope that we see, because this is what we would like to see more of now. We got the Vader and Obi-Wan. Now we want the Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon again.
Okay.
Personally.
Orc and Beans, what was it like for you seeing Mr. Qui-Gon, Liam Neeson back?
I mean, I loved it. And like I said earlier, it was short and sweet. We got to the point. We got what we wanted to see. And for season 2, I had heard recently that originally the idea was the bad guy was going to be Darth Maul. And to the point that they even got the go-ahead with the original guy that played Darth Maul. I would love to see what Corey was talking about, just kind of a training montage and getting some answers answered, but then getting to see one of my favorite characters, Darth Maul, again.
Well,
with his little robot legs.
Yeah. As you guys are kind of starting to already bring it up, so that's where season 1 ends. Very, very beautiful. Before we talk about possibilities of season 2, let's talk about our rating real quick of the final episode.
Okay.
So, Orc and Beans, let's start with you.
I originally had this very low.
Really?
I was annoyed by the fact that Vader was okay with just dropping some rocks on him and walking away. I was annoyed at the fact that Obi-Wan doesn't kill Vader at the end, which obviously we knew wasn't going to happen. But after kind of taking a day from it and really thinking about it, and just honestly for me, the last 25 minutes of the episode is just perfect. Once we get the smile and the going back and seeing the kids afterwards, it was all just so good for me. I originally had the episode as a 7.6. I now have it at a 9.8.
That's much of a jump.
That was my jump. I was when I watched the episode, I was annoyed. I was like, really? This is the final episode? This is what we get as the final?
Yeah.
And then the last 25 minutes happened. And like I said, I took a day away and I didn't look at anything. I didn't really think about it. And then when I came back to it, I was like, that was the perfect final episode for us. 9.8.
Before Corey says his answer, because you got to explain this. That's a huge jump, my man.
It is a huge jump, yes. And
what tweaked in your mind that said it was perfect? What were the give us 3 points that were like, you know what, I was wrong. That was perfect.
For me, with the Vader and the rock stuff and kind of what Corey talked about also helped me sway it, was just they don't ever really do that final blow.
Okay.
And I could see it as Vader being like, well, you left me to die, now I'm going to leave you to die, kind of thing. And so that swayed me heavily. Corey really swayed me on that. And and again with the Obi-Wan just walking away. And also I feel like this episode had the greatest scene of Star Wars history in it. There's no way I can give an episode that I think has the best scene ever a 7.8. And just the way they wrap up the kids and getting to see Qui-Gon and him getting to find, when Owen says, hey, do you want to meet him? I was like, oh, thank God. Yes, please let him meet him. For me, it was just, and also Leia's just such a good character and that actress was so good that there's no way I could give him anything lower.
All right.
I'm going to let you go next, Trey.
You're gonna let me go next, of course. I think last episode, what did I give it, Cody? I think it was like
we all went 9.6.
9.6. Okay, that's what I was thinking. This was definitely better than last episode, even though it confirmed a lot of our theories. That made me super happy. I think I have to give it like a 9. I'm gonna give it a 9.8.
Why did it make okay? Why did it? What did he have issues with?
You're wondering why I didn't give it like a 9.9 perfect score thing, or why I was like debating on 9.7, 9.8.
Yeah. Well, what stopped you? Like,
so here's what stopped me. Someone did a video edit of the fight scene with John Williams music, and I said to myself, that was way better with the John Williams music.
The fucking music, dude. It's always the music with you.
You know, it's me though. Like, would you expect anything different? You know, music is something I
next season you have to watch the entire thing on mute. You just get to read the subtitles. I don't want to hear anything about your music.
Hurtful. I think Natalie Holt did a fairly good job. I'm so glad they brought the Imperial March back, but like the fight scenes have always been a little lackluster in terms of the music. What's that?
I thought the fight music in this episode was fantastic.
I didn't think it was as good as I've heard before. But see, that's where I say, if I didn't see that, if someone didn't add John Williams music and show that scene,
that's your fault though. That's your fault for looking at it.
Sure, that is my fault. But you know what? I'm gonna stick to my guns on it because first off, it's a 9.8. So it's near perfect score. Giving me crud on a 9.8 because of music.
I think we know what Corey's score is.
Corey's gonna be a 10, whatever Top Gun score he gave it.
No, it's not better than Top Gun. Which I think I might go see either tomorrow or
Jesus. Yeah. Was that 6 or 7 times now?
6.
Jesus.
My score time, or are you going to say
your score? Yeah, I'm sticking to my 9.8. But if you keep going, I mean, drop it to a 9.7.
I'm literally trying to think of something that I didn't like in this episode. That is what I'm thinking. You know, I gave the last one 9.6. What did I like? I was okay with the music. If you're right, Trey, I'm sure if they had some of the same themes back, it may have been a little bit better. I'm going to go 9.9.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Cody, you were a 9.8 as well.
9.8. Yep.
Corey's a 9.9. I'm a 9.8. Okay. So what are the folks saying? What does our audience think?
Yeah.
What's
so
the rating?
Bat Fanatic said 9.7.
Okay.
Hashtag Restore the Snyderverse guy says 9.8. Bat Dan says 9.876342.
Roger.
Trevor H with a 9.5. The Butler with a 9.8 out of 10.
Okay.
Oracle's Clock Tower with a 9.9.
She's right with you. She's like 9.9.
Red Hooded Outlaw with a 9.7. And Red Hooded Outlaw also said Top Gun.
Jesus. I knew that was going to happen. Okay. So guys, now that we have a range, everyone's like, it was a masterpiece of an episode.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that. Corey, season 2, we are all in agreement. Kathleen Kennedy has said, who's in charge of Star Wars at this moment, has said, if the audience wants it, we'll give it to them. Do you guys feel like, yes, season 2 should happen, or should it be a spinoff? Should season 2?
My question, Trey, right now is, why haven't they started filming yet? Well, I want to see episode or season 2 of Obi-Wan Kenobi. I have some friends that are big Star Wars fans, and they're like, yeah, we want something new though. We want something, you know, they're really excited for some of the new stuff that's coming out.
Like Andor and stuff like that.
Yes. And I get that, and I appreciate that. They want new stories, and I understand that. But I think I want to see. I love Obi-Wan's character. I love Vader's character. They're the two best characters in Star Wars, in my opinion. As besides Han Solo, who is the best Star Wars character.
The best and the one who always wanted out of it.
Yeah, exactly. Because he knew less is more. He's aged like fine wine, and he's becoming better and better. I think Ewan McGregor is, and I want to see Qui-Gon Jinn. Season 2, in my opinion, is kind of the starting of him kind of reconnecting and becoming even more powerful. And, I've seen a lot of things of why is he looking so much older, 9-10 years later? Looking
Guilt
like
will do that to you.
I'm wondering if there's something in this training that he goes through that, forces his age to like increase his age, or how like the lightning on being reflected back on Palpatine with Mace Windu's, how he really aged in that. I wonder if there's going to be some, because we've never seen a Jedi,
maybe he goes after the Emperor. I don't know.
Maybe, but we've also never seen a Jedi get just swooped down and straight up disappear. Until he was the first to do that we saw, until later on Luke does that a little bit later, right?
That's actually true. So you're right.
There's some Force things that he's going to learn that I think will provide a really cool season. I think you could also potentially. My question is, would you have Vader in an Obi-Wan Kenobi season 2? Because you can't. No. You can't. No, but hear me out. You can't have just him learning how to, be the Force, a part of that as well.
Okay, I can see what you're saying. So maybe he's facing a Force ghost, like Force manipulation of Vader rather than.
No. I'm not even saying that at all. I'm just saying that maybe that Obi-Wan Kenobi and Vader becomes kind of like a joint series where we see what's going on with the with him.
I think Hayden should get his own thing. I think it's time to give Hayden his own. He's the main.
I don't know if they're going to do that though.
Why not? I mean, there's so much the Vader comics of Marvel. Yeah, and people are begging for that. Why Vader hasn't been greenlighted for a series already is beyond me.
Yes, Yoda also disappears when he dies, but Obi-Wan did it first.
True. Which, speaking of, so I think
he didn't even die. He just kind of forced himself to just disappear.
Jesus.
Step.
So
where the hell is he?
Pork and Beans. Did you say if you want season 2 of Obi-Wan as well?
Oh yeah, I would totally watch it, especially if it is, the Darth Maul is the bad guy of the series. 100%.
Yeah. According to Mikey Son with Geekosity, he says it's a sure thing. Like the Obi-Wan thing will happen. Now we kind of have already talked about it. Corey, can you go to the next slide? Darth Vader series. This is where I think there's a real super cool story that they could do here with Darth Vader. One, I think if they did a multiple personality, like Anakin trying to climb out of Vader's mind, basically, they could do something really psycho crazy with that. But I personally think the story is bringing back Mace Windu and Mace Windu going after Vader. What are your guys' thoughts? But I think Mace Windu should be come a gray Jedi and be on the side of light and dark.
Samuel L. Jackson's old, man.
Mother. You calling Samuel Jackson old?
He's gonna look older than
I don't give a
maybe some lightning will do that to you.
It would. He has a point. He has a point.
And why does he have a ponytail now?
Jesus. Oh yeah, and then a long little beard up front. Your ass used to be beautiful.
Dude, I guess what is he gonna ask for this time? Not only do I want a purple lightsaber,
I want some purple robes. And I want a purple milk. No. Just make everything purple. Whatever. Hey, even
I don't need Mace Windu in it anymore.
You depress me. You depress me.
Also, isn't it like super confirmed that he's like definitely dead?
No, according to Samuel L. Jackson, he's like, no, dude, I'm still alive. I can.
Of course, Samuel L. Jackson's saying that. He's like, yeah, but they never killed me.
Hey, they never showed his body. You know what that means?
Yeah. Then he's a punk bitch for hiding this entire time.
Well, maybe he's healing, and maybe he's been drawing his power to the dark side. I'm not going to
15 years to heal.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a
I am not going to give up hope on Mace Windu returning. Okay, it's not going to happen.
I think if you do Vader, and that's what I'm saying. I could probably be okay with just the Vader episode, a season, or plot line where it's just him destroying things the entire time, and that there's no hope. I'm just not sure that formula works for a TV show. Because while I would be okay watching just, like I said, Vader just crushing lives and crushing souls, I would people watch that when there's no hope whatsoever, like literally just.
Well, that's where I say I think if he did a really psychological, warfare in his mind,
like a Joker type thing,
kind of, yeah, like, but in the sense that there's Anakin is in there, that he is trying to climb out of the darkness, and Vader won't let him.
Doesn't that kind of negate with what? Yeah, but that comes more over to my side where there's still Anakin in him.
Corey, we'll do the podcast, bro. We'll do the episode.
He's just so on it. He's like, I need my boy to be okay. I just want it.
But if you're against that theory, Trey, that negates the Vader's.
I'm not. No, we're not doing this because we're gonna get into that whole discussion again. Like, we'll save it for another stream, big fella. Jesus, Corey is just on it. He just wants it. So, Orchid Beans 14. Darth Vader series, yes or no?
Oh, I would totally love to watch a series about the bad guy winning.
Okay.
Like, I'm all for just watching him force choke some kids, slice some people down, rip some. I really want to see Darth Vader in space fights because he's a great pilot. I want to see him just.
That's a great plug, Orchid Beans 14.
Just rip them down.
Plug for tonight.
Oh, really? Is it now?
Is it? What's going on tonight, guys?
I don't know what's happening tonight.
You're the one with the buttons. Come on.
Come on, Corey. Failure. You're the one with the PowerPoint.
There we go.
Obi-Wan Kenobi. Season finale game party celebration on Star Wars Battlefront 2 Xbox. Join us on Orkin Beans 14 Twitch account tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern. You can send us an invite to our gamer tags. Corey, can you pull that up, please? To either Orkin Beans 14 or Titans Space Valor 12 or Big EC 72. Do it now. Join us. We're going to have a damn good time. We're going to play for a couple of hours as long as Corey doesn't fail miserably. I'm just kidding. It'll probably be me because we both know Orkin Beans 14 carries the team on his back.
But I want to play some of the real plug that I wanted to do is I want to do some space battles. But what we did forget to talk about is...
We kind of did talk about this, but Reva show. Yes or no? Would you guys be down to see a show just about her and her?
Maybe not a whole show, but like
a single film.
Just kind of. I want a little bit more of her. I want to just see what she does after this. I really hope she becomes like a bounty hunter or something. That
cameo
would be
appearance
cool.
kind of thing.
Yeah, I want just some more. I don't think I could do a whole show.
I think she becomes in a Resistance show with Baby Ice Cube and
Baby Ice Cube. Don't say that about O'Shea Jackson. He will you up.
Why?
Don't call him Baby Ice Cube. You don't think that's dangerous?
No, he's Baby Ice Cube.
Do you have any idea who his father is, Corey?
The guy from What's that movie? Road Trip or
what the hell? How dare you? Friday.
Yeah, Jump Street. Yeah, Jump Street.
Oh my God. What is happening to this show? Okay, so far people are like, we would like to see more of her story, but a whole solo show, maybe not.
And the chat is saying, I want a season 2 for Marco's Clock Tower, or the Butler. He says yes, season 2. Batman says, I don't think season 2 should happen unless they make Ewan McGregor look more like Alec Guinness. And that's why I said I want to see why there's such a change in appearance, like what in the Force. Oh, what in the Force happens to him? More Ewan McGregor. I agree, Bat Dan. Says Redheaded Outlaw. Yoda also disappears. Mace Windu was a dick. Mace Windu would be old. Trevor H does agree with you. Yes, bring back Mace Windu. In the game version, Windu is definitely dead. Cameo would be fine. Maybe a subplot in season 2 in Obi-Wan.
Okay.
As far as Reva, they could give us a bit more of Reva, but a whole series is not needed. I completely agree with that. I think she's in a Resistance, growing up a Resistance type show, Rebels, something along those lines, with Baby Ice Cube. Yeah, boy.
Corey, I think you should make a T-shirt of that.
That's
of just a giant
thing.
Ice Cube and then Baby Ice Cube next to it. And watch O'Shea Jackson mess you up.
Hey, we got Yoda and Baby Yoda. We got
Baby Yoda, Baby Ice Cube, Baby Obi-Wan, Baby Grievous, Baby Jar Jar. Why not? And hell, even as we learned in the sequel trilogy, Baby Palpatine too. Okay. So guys, as we come down to the end of it, as always, I love to roll out the red carpet for my boy Orkin Beans 14, who was able to hang out with us on this awesome Delta Squad stream. Orkin Beans 14, obviously you have a stream right after this. Sorry that we kept you so long. Tell us what you got going on in your life.
Yeah, so the biggest way you guys can support me and follow me is on my Twitch channel. I'm getting pretty close to the 50 followers that I need. I'm at 34, I believe. So that's the biggest way, but also you can find me on Twitter and obviously my TikTok, all Orkin Beans 14. And yeah, so I'm probably gonna eat a little bit, and then we're gonna start a stream up hopefully around 2:30, and then later tonight we're doing our meetup.
Yeah.
And what time is that again?
7 p.m. Eastern.
Are we going to be streaming that at all, Trey?
I was gonna try to figure it out. So Corey, after the show, if you want to hang out a little bit, we can try.
Okay, so we'll just tell the chat right now it's happening. We'll either be, for those who don't have Twitch and haven't created it yet, we'll probably at least be restreaming his thing there. Or again, if you can make a Twitch, and follow Orkin Beans 14.
Yes, please.
Sweet. I'm excited. Orkin Beans, this is gonna be a fun night hanging out with you, playing some Star Wars Battlefront 2. I forgot how much I love the game. It kind of reminds me of the original Battlefront 2, but it's still dope. I like it. All right, guys. Corey, anything you want to add before we end tonight's show?
Yeah, I do. Would Vader ruled the same as Palpatine? That's a good question.
Oh my God. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, Super Bro Corey has lost his damn mind. He just wants to do another stream talking about some Star Wars theories, which we definitely will.
I don't want this Delta Squad to end. We need to keep it going.
Delta Squad will never end.
If you think Delta Squad should continue, put it in the chat. Yes, continue season 2 of Delta Squad.
I'm sure people agree, because you know what, I'm having fun with this Delta Squad streams as well. So guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us as always. It really does mean a lot. Thank you for all the super chats we've gotten today. I think Oracle was one, Trevor H.
Yeah, we had Oracle's Clock Tower. Oracle's Clock Tower, Restore the Snyderverse guy, and Red Hooded Outlaw.
Thank you guys so much for all the super chats today. It really does mean a lot. You guys are the best. Don't forget to hang out with us tonight Go check out Orc and Beans 14 on Twitch. We're going to be doing Star Wars Battlefront 2. Come join us. Send your gamer tag invites. It's going to be a damn good time. Guys, I am your host, Trey, of the Bat Channel with
Super Bro Corey.
And Orc and Beans 14.
And don't forget to tune in weekly.
Same bat time.
Same Bat Channel. See you later, guys. Have a good night.
Have a good one, everybody.